Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the planet. Hope you're well. Hope your bass playing's going great. This is Brooks's live. Good start, Mike. Brooks's Bass Corner coming to you live from London here in the UK. It's very cold outside. It is sub-zero. But I hope you're safe and well. This is Live Chat 95. I'm a little bit flustered. I've just got back from a dog walk. Hair looks like Busby. And literally as soon as this live chat finishes later on, I'm straight out the door on an Uncle Funk show. Got my Uncle Funk hoodie on today. It's work time. Time to get back out and gigging after the Christmas malaise. But I hope you're safe and well. Midday today, so midday here in the UK. It'll be 7 a.m. on the East Coast in the US. It'll be 4 a.m. I think. Yeah, 4 a.m. on the West Coast. Everything that's going on in the world and everything over on the West Coast viewers, hearts coming out to you. I don't know how you're coping with what's going on over there. I've just seen something flashed up on my phone while I was out walking the dog. Tom Hanks's $26 million home, estate has burnt down. What a world we live in, I tell you. Climate warming is a thing. It's a thing. It's and it's not to be laughed about. So if you're stuck over on the West Coast and you're tuning in, you've got all my love and sympathy today. If you're elsewhere in the world, all the things that are going on, I have it easy. I understand, okay? But anyway, here we are. Brooks Bass Corner, Live Chat 95 on Saturdays now, not Tuesdays. I'm going to have to take this hoodie off. I'm absolutely roasting. I thought it was going to be a bit chilly after that dog walk. It certainly isn't. But here we are, live chats. We're on Saturdays now, not Tuesdays. I did warn you on last week's live chat that today's one was going to be an early start. So live chats now generally are going to be around 2 p.m. here in the UK. Today's one's at 12 because I'm off out on a gig and I need to be out the door a little after 3 o'clock. So you've got me for 3 hours if you want me. So if you've got any questions about bass guitars, bass amps, bass effects, bass accessories, strings, gig bags, pedal boards, being a bass player in a band, talking about great bass players, albums with great bass players on, bands that had great bass players. If you want to talk about any of those things, if you want to talk about any of the magazine work I used to do, any of the bands I've been in, if you want to talk about what it's like going out and doing gigs and all that sort of thing. If I can help in any way, that's the whole point of the live chat. If you're looking for some advice or some information, maybe a different viewpoint or a perspective on something you might be looking to buy. Obviously, we've got the January sales on at the moment. Maybe you got a bass for Christmas and you think, I don't know where to start. I don't know how to start playing. Come on in. You're amongst friends. We'll do our best to help you out. So if you ask me a question or look for some advice and I don't know the answer, I'll throw it open to the floor. The fine people that we have here on the Brooks's Bass Corner live chat. So you're very welcome. Come on in. We're a friendly bunch. We don't generally accept nonsense and swearing and people being stupid. So if you're one of those, and we've had a few just before Christmas who thought they'd come on the live chat and swear and curse and be generally aggressive and nasty, we'll just ban you. So if you're coming on, be friendly, be nice, be pleasant, and we'll try and help you as much as we can. So last week's live chat obviously was 94, first one back after Christmas. This is 95. Busy week, very busy week. I haven't done any gigs this week. Today's my first gig back since just before Christmas. But been very busy recording, editing, fleshing out ideas for new videos. I know I've put no content up, and it wasn't through lack of trying. I had great impetus this week. I've got a new video for you, which is basically, if you've come through via YouTube directly, obviously we're here on the StreamYard platform, but broadcasting out on YouTube. If you've seen the thumbnail, the title, and it's talking about my 30-year career. Steffi, welcome from Germany. Good to see you. Thank you for joining in. So yeah, the title alludes to my 30-year career. Well, I've been working on a video this week, a slightly different one. I did it outside rather than inside, trying to get some fresh air during the winter months. And it's been exceptionally cold here in the UK. But I thought, just for a change of scenery, you see so many videos here in my office that I thought, do you know what, we'll do this outside, because it's a bit of a talking vloggy kind of thing, talking about my career. This year's 30 years. I'm celebrating 30 years of being a full-time professional musician. My playing career started in 1987, so add on another 7 years. 7, 8, 7.5. So I started playing as a pro in 95, but I started playing generally back in 1987. But this year is the 30th anniversary of getting out there and saying, do you know what, I'm going to give this a go. So I took that leap of faith and wanted to make this my living. And I remember when I set out, I purposely in my head said, give it 10 years, see how far you get. If it's not working after 10 years, then go and get a job, and a regular PAYE job, and do the bass playing as a sideline. You can always do that. Many people do, but I wanted to give it a go. I wanted to try and make a career of it. And here we are 30 years later. So I passed the 10-year mark. I passed the 20-year mark, and here we are 30 years on. And I've done okay. I've done okay. A few things I would have changed over the time. I know the areas that I wish I'd done things differently. I know the areas that I think, crikey, how did I manage to sort of get through that period of sort of intense work, and the people I've met, people I've worked with. It's, as Joe Walsh said on the history of the Eagles, life is a constant series of things, this happening and that happening, and then these things colliding, and then that going wrong, and this and that. And at the time, it seems like complete unbridled chaos. But when you look back, it looks like a very finely crafted novel. But at the time, it doesn't. I can relate to that. I've been through that. So I know all those little, I know what he's getting at, and I know, although I've never played on a platform as big as Joe Walsh has, but there are certain areas of being a professional musician where all of that seems completely relevant, and I've been through it. I've been through a period where I was gigging intensely, booking bands into a chain of venues, keeping my own band afloat, making sure we were busy, writing for a magazine, fixing gigs for a chain of venues, depping in various bands, using deps in sideline bands, people dropping in and out of those gigs, and at the same time having just bought a second-hand car that basically should have been scrapped, should not have even have been on the road, and realizing you've just shelled out a lot of money on something that you're never going to get your money back on, and could be a bit of a death trap. I've been through that. I've had those panic attacks, but here we are 30 years later. It's been an entertaining ride, I have to say. But I've been working on that video this week, filming, editing, doing all the background work on it, doing all the scripting and everything. And I firmly thought I was going to get that out on Wednesday. Well, life took over and it didn't happen. And also my office here, you can't see it. I keep it out of view for you guys. But it's been a complete mess since about start of November. And I've had to have a serious tidy up in here, which thankfully I have had now. But I've got like an excess of gig bags and cases and basses that are here for review, and it's just been a mess. But anyway, we got it in a pretty good state the past couple of days. So I can seriously now film in here properly, products, demos, reviews, back to how it was sort of pre-November. So today's gig, get today out of the way. Tomorrow I can get a video up. Then I've got a couple of days of tax and accounts to do. And then once that's out of the way, it's full steam ahead. So stick with the channel. Thank you to all the new subscribers. We've had a bit of a subscriber surge again this week. Thank you very much. If you're new to the channel, you're very welcome. Come on board. Thank you for joining the bus. I hope you find some content here on the channel that you find entertaining, useful, informative, perhaps educational. That's the idea. That's what I'm producing is that sort of content. So As I say, if you've got any questions about basses, bass amps, effect pedals, bass gear, accessories, strings, gig bags, cases, great bass playing, maybe you're doing your first audition for a band, maybe you're just starting on bass, maybe you got a bass for Christmas. If I can help in any way, let me know. So, for newcomers to the live chat scenario, let me give you a quick 5-minute recap on what's going on. So this is the video window that you're watching me on, of course. I know we get regular YouTube users come on here and they go, we don't need this recap. There's loads of people that tune in each week who either don't know YouTube particularly well, they don't know the interface, they don't know all the different windows and panels and what have you. So bear with me, gang. If you are firmly familiar with it all, good for you, but just for the newcomers in case they don't know. So this will take 5 minutes. This is the video window. If you're on the mobile app, the live chat window is directly below. If you're on the desktop version, it's that way. You'll see it. It's a pane, like a window. Joe Packett, good to see you. A topic for discussion might be hand health, especially for older players. I'll get to that. That's a good idea, Joe. I'm going through a bit of arm pain at the moment, but we'll come to that shortly. So that's the live chat window. If you've got a comment, at the bottom you'll see there's a rectangle that says chat, comment, depending which platform you're watching this on. Put your cursor or pointer in there, type your question or your comment, press send, it'll appear here in my live chat feed. Then I can respond to it, as can other viewers. Now, that's the live chat window. That firmly runs on text. Okay, you can't send links. I can, but you guys can't. However, we're broadcasting on StreamYard, which means you can come in here by video or audio and you can join in this live chat. You can come onto the screen if you want to talk like you do on Zoom or any other of those sort of platforms, or you can come on just by audio, so you can turn your camera visual off, but we'll be getting the sound from your microphone. So that's also a possibility. If you want to join in live outside of the live chat text window, at the bottom of the screen you'll see there's a ticker. You can email me at brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. Send me an email. I'll send you an invite. You click on the invite and then you come through live here on the screen. I can then bring you onto screen, but if you're going to do it via audio, that's fine. We just won't see your face on screen. We'll just hear your voice. So that's another option. Directly below the video, you're going to see a thumbs up and a thumbs down. Please give the video a thumbs up. In fact, all the videos here on Brooks's Bass Corner, if you're a regular viewer, fan of the channel, any of the videos, please give those videos a thumbs up. I can't sort of stress enough how important it is to the YouTube algorithm and how the channel does and how the videos do. A thumbs up changes everything. So if you enjoy the live chat, today's live chat, any of the live chats or any of the videos on the channel, please give it a thumbs up. Please also use the share arrow, which allows you to share this video and all the videos on the channel out social media, email and websites. And also, please leave comments. It's really important. It tells the algorithm that people either like the video or they don't, or that they're getting involved and it's drawing an audience in. The more my videos and the live chats and the broadcasts bring people towards the channel, the more the channel is promoted within YouTube by the algorithm. So that's how it works. So as I say, underneath the video window, you got a thumbs up and a thumbs down. If you're going to give it a thumbs down, please leave a comment. Tell me what you don't like, what you don't enjoy. That's the only way I can improve the videos. Next to that, you'll find the share arrow. As I say, that allows you to share a video out to social media, email, websites. Next to that, I can't see because I'm not I'm on StreamYard. So let me just click on a video and I can tell you exactly what it says. So you've got thumbs up, thumbs down. We've got share arrow. You've got the download button, which allows you to save a video for future reference and watching at a later date. You can also clip a video, which allows you to create clips from that video for your own videos. There's the save option, again, so you can save a video as a bookmark to come back to later. There's also the shop icon. And there's also a love heart with a dollar symbol in, which is called Super Thanks, which allows you to make a financial contribution to the channel if you wish to do so. You don't have to. Every video on the channel is free to watch. It costs you nothing to watch the video. But if you like what you see, you like the information, you like what we're doing here on Brooks's Bass Corner, you can help the channel out by using the super thanks option. Now, when we're doing live chats, we have a facility here called Super Chat, which is exactly the same as Super Thanks. So at the bottom of the live chat window, again, directly below the video window if you're on the mobile app, that way if you're on the desktop version, you've got the comment and chat box. You've then next to that got an emoji icon, which allows you to add emojis to the chat. And again, it's a very good way of promoting the video within the YouTube algorithm. So if you hit the emoji button, feel free to leave loads of them throughout this live chat. It really helps, okay? Next to the emoji icon, you've got a rectangle with a dollar symbol. So underneath the video, you've got a love heart with a dollar symbol. It's super thanks. Live chat, you've got the rectangle with a dollar sign. Obviously looks like a dollar bill. That's called Super Chat. So if you enjoy this live chat, you want to help the channel, well, everything here on the channel has to be paid for. Nothing comes to us for free. So all the things you see in the reviews, the demos, the cameras, the cables, the microphones, boom stands, lights, effects pedals, everything you see, the maintenance products on the workbench videos, all of that has to be paid for. If you want to help the channel, help me, help the video, feel free to hit the super chat button. It doesn't have to be a large amount. It might be $1, £1, €1, might be £10, $10, 10 euros, $20, which is what we got from Stacy from North Carolina and Scott from California last week. Or as much as you wish. Martin Fay holds the record from Dublin. Gave the channel €50 about a year ago. So thank you, Martin, if you're watching. I know you dropped in on a chat just before Christmas. Good to see you. We haven't seen you much in the last year. Busy chap, of course. So that's how Super Chat works. Then underneath the icons, underneath the video, you can find description box. In there, you'll find timestamps. So from tomorrow, everything we talk about today, I put a timestamp reference. So you can click through the video. If you don't want to watch the whole session, you can just go to the timestamp section in the description box, click on time, and it'll jump you straight through to that point in the video. Underneath that, you're going to find affiliate links for the Bass Centre here in the UK, selling Bass Centre merch, Elite strings, the Bass Collection, and British Bassmaster Series basses. So if you want any Bass Centre gear, affiliate links in the description box. After that, you can find affiliate links for Top Cashback, vidIQ, and StreamYard. And then if you've got any bass related purchases, you can help the channel by buying through any of the following retailers. We get a kickback in terms of an affiliate commission from Amazon.com, Gear for Music, Andertons, and Thomann. So if you've got a bass, an amp, a pedal, strings, accessories, gig bag, cleaning materials, any of that, if you're thinking of buying something, please look at the affiliate links in the description box, find what you want with that retailer, go through and buy the product. We then get a small commission back. It's a very small amount. It's not the amount you pay. So if you buy a £500 bass, we don't get £500. We get probably about £1.50. But all those small commissions blow up to become a bigger amount in the bigger scheme of things. After those affiliate commissions, you're also going to find links for Brooks's Bass Corner merch. I haven't got any on today because I'm straight off out to a gig after this live chat. But we've got T-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, leisure wear, lunch boxes, mobile phone cases. There's 170 products on there with, I think, 15 different bass-related designs, Brooks's Bass Corner merch. So if you're looking for any of that, you want to help the channel, you want something for your money, merch is a great way to do that. So you'll find links for that in the description box below. And then after that, in the description box, you're going to find the social media links. You'll find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter X, Be Real, Reddit, Quora, Discord, and TikTok. That's it. There we go. I said that would be as quick as I could possibly make it. So it's 12:20 here. Live chat 95 here on Brooks's Bass Corner. Just going to have a quick drink. So I've literally not stopped talking for 20 minutes. Cheers, one and all. It is earlier today. I do appreciate it. Last week was 2 o'clock. Today it's 12 o'clock because I'm out the door for a gig with Uncle Funk's Disco Inferno. Today we are playing in Harlow which is kind of Hertfordshire, Essex way, Cambridgeshire way, one of those three counties. We're doing a private event. I think it's someone's birthday, 60th birthday. So the disco band is back up and running today. So we're back out, first gig of 2025. I'm actually going to do some vlogging today. I'm going to take you on my journey. Obviously not on the live chat. It'll be a separate video. So if you're watching this after the event, check out the channel. You'll find that video. So I'm going to take you on the journey, leaving home in the car, get to the venue, sound check. Those sound checks are going to be interesting because we did a series of videos here called the Bass String Experiment from July 2022, and the experiment finished in October 23, and the last video for that series came out in May 2024. So that took you on a run, on a journey. One bass, one set of strings, and the experiment was to see how long those strings would last. I got loads of comments during that run, and I still get comments to this day when people watch those videos and they go, why don't you let us hear any of the gig? Why don't you let us hear any of the sound check? Now, on some of those shows, I could because I had amplification. But on Uncle Funk shows, I don't because we're running on IEMs. There is no backline on stage. We're entirely IEM based. So the only thing you would hear, if I gave you a live feed of the sound, is you're going to hear drums. You might hear a bit of vocal. You'll hear trumpet and sax, but you're not going to hear bass. You're not going to hear guitar. You're not going to hear keyboards or track, apart from what's coming from the PA out front. And on sound check, obviously, I would be on stage. So you're really not going to hear very much at all. So today, I've somehow got to figure out a way, either that you can hear something, but also in the back of my mind throughout sound check or a gig or anything, is the fact that I could get hit with a copyright strike. So I have to be very on the case when it comes to editing, that I use a section that hasn't got any vocals on. Otherwise I could get hit with a copyright strike or a claim, which I don't want. And this is always the problem. It's you don't know which songs by which artists, by which songwriters could incur a serious copyright claim or strike. You don't know. You just don't know. I've done impromptu live chats on gigs where we've been sat in a changing room. There's been DJ music playing out in the main hall or venue, and you've been able to hear some of that in the changing room. And got home the next day to edit up that video and found out within 3 hours of that live chat finishing, I'd been hit with a copyright claim, which means I earn no money for the video. It all goes to the songwriter. And yeah, and in which case it's like, well, why did I do that video then? So then you either have to edit out that sound, or it's been a while since I've had one, but there was a facility where you could actually mute that track, and YouTube would use AI to keep your vocal, your commentary on there, but take the music off. I haven't had to do it for a while. I would imagine the AI tool is pretty good now, so hopefully I don't have to use it. But anyway, this is the challenge of doing recording when you're doing sound checks or gigs. So we'll see. Juice, good to see you. It's been a while. What IEM, actually, let's put this on the screen, shall we? Let's show the world. What IEMs do you find best for bass? You've tried Shure 215s, but not great for low mid bass. Funny you should ask that. 2 seconds. My IEM pack is here to make sure I don't forget to pack it. So we've had this discussion before here on Brooks's Bass Corner live chats. I've mentioned these on many occasions. So I've been using IEM since February 2019, so about a year before lockdown, before COVID hit us. And when I was buying my setup, I can hear a gig bag moving. Stop. Sounds like water dripping. It's a gig bag moving across my wooden floor. So when I first started using IEMs, I had a big sort of online chat with loads of people that I know use them already. And the thing that came across was it's not so much your hardware, but your IEMs that go in your ears and the mix that you get are probably the two most important aspects. If you get either of those wrong, it's a bit pointless. So, people I knew, valued friends, acquaintances, were all saying, "Oh, you've got to go and have molds done, and you've got to spend 500 quid, 700 quid." And at the time, I was like, "Okay, right, okay." And then a friend of mine called Andy Carr, who plays for ABC, amongst others, very busy session player here in the UK, messaged me and said, "Look, it doesn't matter what IEMs you've got in your ears. If the guy doing the mix does a bad job, it doesn't matter how good your IEMs are. If you can't hear what you need to hear in the mix, it's irrelevant." He said, "I can really recommend these things called KZ ZS10s, which are available on Amazon." He said, not only are they good, they've got 4 or 5 drivers, depending on which model you pick. So you hear everything. He said the reproduction is really good. He said, sounds like you listen to a CD. But also, if you lose them or damage them or someone steals them, they're only like 45 to 50 pounds. They're not expensive. So I've seen the looks on musicians' faces. Visog, good to see you. Who have lost an IEM or have had them stolen or have broken them. And the thought of having to shell out another £400-500 or more for a new set of molds, new set of ears is deflating, to say the least. So I thought, well, yeah. I mean, I've no experience of this. So if all I shell out is £45 and then I decide I don't like them, it's not the end of the world. If they get damaged, destroyed, lost, broken, it's only £45. So I took a punt on these. So these are the KZ ZS10. So these are the 2019 models. I now have another 2 sets of these. One sit in my gig bag. It comes with me on every show. So if there's a problem with these, I just get another pair out and away we go. And then I've also got another pair here. Directly, you can't see my hand, but if I directly went in a line to there, I've got a set looking at me out of a plastic drawer in my stacking drawers. So if I had a weekend of gigs and both this set and the set in my bag went down, it wouldn't matter. As long as I can get home, I can get another set. Also, you've got Amazon Prime. I need another set anywhere in the UK if I was away for 2 or 3 days. I can just get them delivered to where I'm staying or where I'm gigging. Simple as that. They are fabulous. I'm still using the same set from 2019. I've replaced the rubber bud tips a couple of times. But these are great. So for £45, in fact, the last set I think cost 38. I can highly recommend these. Now, if you want a set, you can buy them through my store on Amazon. We get a very small commission. Let me post up a link for you. Let me just go in there. And you can help the channel if you want to take a punt on these. I'll give you the amazon.co.uk and the amazon.com links. So I've got them in there, haven't I? I keep them in the wish list because people ask me about these all the time. And they've just updated them as well. KZZS10. They've updated them, so they're a slightly nicer looking design. So there are different companies that make them. I generally use the Linsole ones, so you can have them in different colors. It's up to you. There is, right, that's the 4BA 1DD 5 driver. Yeah. Okay, it's those, isn't it? Oh, you can get them for $39.99 at the moment. Upgraded 4BA. It's the same ones. 1DD. Yep. Okay, $39.99 then. So let me just get you a link for that. If you want them in different colors, there are options there. You just scroll along until you find the one you want. So let's get the link. So these are for UK buyers and people that want to use amazon.co.uk. And I'll put them in the description box as well. So let me do that. The dog's barking. Sorry about that. Thank you, Ollie. Yeah, that's all we need. Yeah. Yeah. He'll stop in a moment. I get this all day. It's great when you're trying to add audio onto videos. So let's put in, I will put this at the top of the post under the hashtags and description box. So there's the link. Just bear with me. I'm going to shut my office door. Hello, I'm on a live chat. Let's just call that amazon.co.uk. And that's in there. And then I will put the amazon.com links. Just bear with me a moment, guys. Here we go. So the amazon.com link is... so I can heartily recommend KZZS10. There we go. And they're $49 at the moment. Okay. Let's get you a link for those. Okay, and this is the amazon.com link. There we go. So it's in the description box. I'll put the amazon.com link here. Every dog needs a bone, quite. These ones are well looked after. There we go. So, yeah, I can heartily recommend these. I've had no issues with them. They work great. And, as I say, I keep banging on about it. If they break, I lose one, they get damaged, someone stole them, it's only 45 quid. $50. $50. So, that's it. And I'm very happy with them. And everyone in the band, some people have got molds and what have you, that's up to them. But again, if they lose them, break them, get them stolen, they've got to replace what they've got. For me, it's £45. And I've got 2 other sets ready to go. So I bought this little package, stays in there, spare couple of sets of batteries in there too. Good to go. And that goes in my bag. I nearly forgot to pack it this morning. So that goes in the old big bag there. And we're good to go. So I hope that's handy for you. I know the Shure ones are like, I can't remember what they cost. Is it 100 quid, 200 quid? But these have been great. And I've done hundreds of shows with them. And I have no problems. And it's great sound. 4 drive. Well, those older ones had 4 drivers. The new sets that I've just put the links up for, 5 drivers. So you're getting quality of sound, clarity, good bass end. I mean, I'd playing in a disco band. If I wasn't getting bass end, I'd be a little upset. I hear everything really well. And I get, but the guy in the sound guys we have in Uncle Funk do great sound. But also I have it running on my iPad where I can do my own mix. And to be honest, generally I get a good sound straight off the bat once we've done sound check or line check. But I can tweak it. And usually within 2 or 3 songs, I've got everything how I want. I don't tend to have to make any adjustments unless some idiot in the band has gone onto my send feed and has started changing the mix because they think they're adjusting what they're hearing. They're not. They're adjusting what I'm hearing. We've had that. We've had words. And but generally it works pretty well. So, yeah. You got any more questions about those, Juice? Let me know. But yeah, I can highly recommend them. You can spend as much as you want on this stuff. You know, when I was first looking at it all in 2019, I didn't know what gear, what hardware to buy. And a friend in another covers band who had never had monitors really and thrashed his voice for years, he bought Sennheiser G3. He got one second hand. And I was on a gig with him. I said, using IEMs? He said, yeah. I said, what are you using? He said, well, Sennheiser. I said, how much that cost you? He said, about 300 quid off eBay. He said, I bought a second hand one. He said, I don't need brand new, you know, for the gigs we're doing. I don't, you know, it's not, we're not playing Wembley Arena. I was like, no, okay, I get that. And I then thought, okay. And I got a gig. Actually, it was my first Queen gig where they said, you got to have IEMs. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to have to buy one of these setups. And actually, I was starting to do more work with bands that were going down that route. And I bought, I think mine cost me about £320, again off eBay. And I'm still using it. It's great. I thought I'd upgrade further along the line. I haven't had to. I really haven't had to. And the gear I bought and those IEMs have been fabulous. Bomb-proof. I'm very happy. So you don't need to spend lots of money. People will tell you you need to spend lots of money on IEM setups. No, you don't. No, you don't. And if you buy a transmitter and receiver from a reputable brand, I know there is a cheaper manufacturer. I think, is it LD? And I know people that have bought those and had major issues. But I bought a Sennheiser G3. The reviews were good. Practical experience has been perfect. I've had no issues at all. Works great. So, yeah, for the cost of that, $320 and a set of IEMs, which cost me £45 at the time, £365, and a box of replacement rubber tips and the little case, probably £380 all in. And I've been using that for 6 years. So, juice, like you said, nothing to lose at that price. Exactly. And the lovely thing is, you buy them, and if you still have devices where you can use a 3.5mm audio jack, they're the same as audio buds. There's no different. And actually, the quality of sound is superb. I use them sometimes if I'm just doing stuff here on the PC. I don't want to sit with a big pair of headphones on. I'll just wire them up into my extension cable that goes into my audio interface and just use them, because it's far less weighty, far less of a burden on your head and your ears and everything else. And the sound is great. So there we go. I hope that helps some people out there. But Juice, let me know how you get on. Once they arrive, use them. If you don't like them, come on here and tell me. Let me know what you didn't like about them. But for £45, I think you'll be hard pushed to find anything comparable with 5 drivers in that does as good a job. You might find, I mean, people can come on and say my £400 ones are a perfect fit and yeah, but these haven't been molded for your ears. But you may find actually getting a set of a box with different sized replacement tips, because if you get them and they don't, like the part that goes into your ear canal isn't perfect, you might dismiss them. So get a box of, again, I've got them in my bag. It's a little plastic box, and they've got literally, I think, 4 different tip sizes and 2 of each. So maybe get those, and if there's a problem, you can just replace. They just literally pull off, and you put the new ones on. Easy, easy, easy. Easy is what I do. I don't want complicated grief. So, but yeah, they work great for me, and I'll be using mine today. You know, later on, when I get to our gig in Harlow. Harlow, great, isn't it? First gig back in 2025, and I'm playing in Harlow. Oh well, got to play somewhere, mate. Got to play somewhere. So I hope you're all safe and well. I hope you're all. Well, I'm hoping for most of you, 2025 has started off okay. As I said at the top of the show, if you're on the west coast of America, you've got my love and sympathy at the moment. It looks horrendous. I've got friends out there who I've messaged and not heard back. I'm assuming they haven't perished. I guess they've got more important things on their mind than sending me a reply to let me know they're okay. But it looks horrific out there. And yeah, love and best wishes going out to you. And if you're elsewhere on the planet and you're suffering a bit at the moment, there's a lot of rubbish going on. Lots of not good things going on. But if you're up against it, I feel for you. Okay. 2025. Here we are, going into it with a bang. That's for sure. So let me know if you've bought anything new in the sales. Maybe you got some bass stuff for Christmas. New bass, new strings, new pedals, new tech. Let me know what you got. If you've bought stuff in the sales, let me know. If you're looking to buy something, maybe you got your eye on a good deal out there. Let me know. And if I've got any experience of it, I might be able to push you in that direction. Or if it's something that I've had myself and it's been average or poor, I can give you the benefit of my wisdom. But if I've got no experience of it, maybe someone else here on the live chat will have. So let's help each other out. Hey. So topic of conversation, there isn't really a topic, but if you've come in from YouTube, you've probably seen the title of today's live chat is me talking about how I've managed to eke out a 30-year career as a bass player. I'm actually in the middle of editing up a video for you guys, which will go live this week, hopefully. Should have been ready on Wednesday, but it wasn't. How I've managed to perpetuate a 30-year career as a bass player. It's had its moments. It's not been plain sailing, that's for sure. But there's been some great times. Traveled the world, met many people, seen some weird things. I've seen some weird stuff. Entertained people around the globe. Get paid for the privilege. Hard times have been hard. I know that. And quiet times are disparaging. I got over the declining gigs in January in the early part of the year many years ago. It used to frustrate the hell out of me. I understand why a lot of venues, a lot of pubs and clubs, a lot of events don't happen in January. Lots of places have to, pull the reins in, just say we aren't going to have any gigs this month. And you think, well, where am I going to earn from? But it works itself out one way or another. And you learn very quickly being a professional musician, if this is your only income source, that you have to put money away. So when times are good, summer period, Christmas period, you get a run of gigs with a band and you're doing well, put some money away because you're going to need it. It's very hard to maintain a constant income source 12 months every year for 30 years. It just doesn't work like that. So I have learnt that when you're having a really good summer or a really good December, put some cash away, stow it away in a separate account, and it's there to get you through when things are quiet. Saw a couple of messages pop in there. Joe Packett, best tools for working on your own bass. Right, that'll be the next thing. Graham Potts, good to see you. Afternoon, Mike and fellow bass legends. Hope everyone had a good Christmas and New Year. Good to see you. Hope everything's well at your end. What are you up to gig-wise? What's happening at your end, Graham? Right, Joe Packett. Okay, best tools for working on your own bass. Okay, depends what job you're trying to do. I tend to use, I've got a bit of a mishmash of tools. So the Hondo stuff is good. I have a preference towards Music Nomad stuff as much as I can. Again, depending what I'm doing. Last year I bought some tools because the Hondo stuff was really hard to get hold of, and the things I wanted, which were basically fret files and nut files, I couldn't get from the places I wanted to get them from. Crimson guitars were sold out. All the Hondo stuff was sold out across the board. I was waiting months to get this stuff. And actually, someone asked me to do a bass setup, actually a couple of bass setups, and I had to turn it away because I couldn't do a fret dress because I didn't have the files. My old stuff had given up the Ghost a year or two before, and I was waiting to get new stuff and couldn't get it. So I ended up using, I think it was a guy called Chris Allsop. Let me just do a quick search here. I think it was Chris Allsop. Yeah, Chris Allsop. Where are we? It's not showing. Let me just call up my email and I will tell you. So he's based in the UK. He makes all these tools by hand, which is great. So I was helping a UK business. We want... Actually, I want that, don't I? That one. There we go. Let's see. So it's in my shopping folder. Right, so that was early part of last year. So it was late 23, early 24. Here we go. It was... now I can't find it. Maybe I put it in a different folder. I'm not seeing it. I've not stowed it away in the right folder. Am I just not looking in the right place? Clearly not. Right, let's have a look in. Let's just search. It's not on there. This is good, isn't it? Right. There we go. Chris Allsop guitar. Thank you very much. Here you go. I can get you a link now. Chris Allsop guitar. That one. Here we go. So I bought a load of tools, and this stuff has been great. Bill Derbyshire, good to see you. Sorry you missed last week. No problem. It's there if you want to watch it. They're all in the live chat playlist. So I bought some fret files and some nut files from this guy. And very good they were too. So they're on my workbench. Tell me, Joe, what job do you want to do on your bass? What are you trying to do? And then I can try and advise accordingly. Don't forget, if you want to join in the live chats live by video or audio, you can. If you want to come on, Joe, and talk to me live on camera, tell me what you want to do. I can't go out to the workshop and get the bits, but I can certainly talk to you one-to-one about what you're trying to do. That's no problem. Just checking the stream health, and we are looking good. Yes, stream health is healthy and excellent. Good. Sounds like a Bill and Ted's episode, doesn't it? The stream health is healthy and excellent. So let me know if you are based elsewhere in the world outside of the UK. Are you enjoying Saturday live chats instead of Tuesdays? I need to gauge over the next couple of weeks which is working. Is the Saturday ones working better for everyone, or do you prefer the Tuesday, or would you prefer both? And we can give one of the live chats a slightly different slant. Don't know how to do that yet. Got to get my head around that. But yeah, let me know. I need to, or I'm going to have to do a poll on the community tab and just find out what is working for people. I'm hoping that the Saturdays work better for the US contingent. I realise today is very early, so it's just coming up to 8 o'clock in the East Coast. It'll be 5 a.m. on the West Coast. I don't expect any West Coasters to be joining us today. This is going to be too early for them. But let me know. If you prefer that it move back to a Tuesday, then that's fine. I can do that. But like I say, there's always the option of having both. But I was hoping that the Saturdays would work out better for the US contingent and also the UK people who might not be particularly enamoured with going shopping on a Saturday afternoon. You might want to come and talk bass here on the Brooks's Bass Corner live chats. And I apologise if you can hear my stomach rumbling. My plan was to have my lunch before the live chat, but I got up half an hour too late today, got breakfast, and by the time I got back from the dog walk, I thought, I can't eat lunch yet. I probably could now, but it'll have to wait until after the live chat. So if you can hear my stomach making noises, I apologise. I do have something actually here. For UK will know this, but US maybe not. We have a retailer here in this country called Marks and Spencer's. I've had one of these before. I'm going to show it on screen in a moment. My other half got me one for Christmas because it's quite fabulous. So they do this thing. This mainly comes out on Father's Day. But they do this thing called the Big Daddy. And I was like, oh, okay. It's probably like a bar of soap or something, maybe. I don't know. No, it's a chocolate bar. I had one of these before, and I'm going to hold it up to the camera. And yeah, it kind of does look like that. I'll get it out the box. So basically, if you read the description, it's a chunky chocolate bar with caramel, peanut butter, and roasted peanut pieces. So I've eaten well over half of this. It's too big. You can't eat it in one hit. You just make yourself sick. But I'll show you so you can actually see in real life how good this thing is. This is my go-to munchathon after Christmas when I'm watching stuff on telly. So hopefully try and get it to the edge of the box so it doesn't fall out. Essential bass playing eatery here. So hopefully you can see that. It is as good as it looks. And they do it predominantly on Father's Day, but apparently they do them for Christmas as well now. So I've got my other halves on orders to make sure I get a couple of these on Father's Day in June. And I can stow them away for the months ahead. But the best thing is just getting a knife and cutting it and eating it that way. Trying to eat it out of the box in your hands is not a good idea. Very messy. It goes everywhere. But yeah, so Joe, tell me, what jobs are you trying to do on your bass? And then I can advise accordingly. And also like cleaning materials, polishing waxes, all of those sort of things. I'll try and help. Tell me what job you're trying to do. Are you fret dressing, fret cleaning, cleaning in the neck, cleaning the body, giving the bass a spruce up? Have you got to cut a string nut? What are you trying to do? Tell me what you're trying to do and I'll try and help. I don't know if you've seen any of my workshop videos. Let me put a link up for the workshop playlist, see if that helps you in any way. Where are we? Workbench playlists. Here we go. It's not on the first page. It's been a while since I posted one, so it's no surprise that it's down the playlist list. Workbench. Here we go. I'll get you a shareable link. So if you want to check any of these out, Joe, feel free. I get pretty good comments from most people on those. Occasionally you get someone who thinks they know everything and tells me where I've made a mistake, and that's fine. I'll happily hold my hands up if I do. But there's going to be a load of those going up very shortly because I did an estimate the other day. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 bases to be restrung, and 8 bases to be restrung, and various other little workshop jobs need doing. So they're going to be going in the workshop. I was going to do those this week, and it's been so cold. I just didn't want to go in the workshop, even with a heater on. I didn't think it would be warm enough. So we're going to get warmer temperatures this week. 9 degrees. Woohoo! Get the shorts and the flip-flops on. And I'll be doing those bases and filming them as I'm doing them. So there'll be restringing, cleaning, fret dressing, all sorts. Joe, you've got 3 bases. All have different truss rod locations. Okay. New bass player, so everything is new to me. The Made in Mexico jazz seems to have some flat spots. Okay, right. I will try and help you here. Right. I would really strongly advise watching my workshop videos. There are, how many in there? Workbench videos. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 in there. 8 videos. Watch those videos. You will get loads of information. I would also strongly suggest, as well as my videos, watch a guy called Dave's World of Fun Stuff. He's based in Canada. Literally, loads of the stuff I do on my workbench videos, I learned from watching his videos. He's fabulous. There are hundreds of videos there. Sit with a pad and a pen and paper, a notebook, whatever, and make notes as he does all these things. He tells you everything. His work is really good. And I try and replicate some of that in the bases I have. But let me try and help you here. So I've got 24 degrees there. Okay. I'm guessing your humidity and temperatures go up and down. So with any bass, generally, you're going to have 2 truss rod adjustments to make each year, and it will be when you get a seasonal change. So here in the UK, I tend to have to adjust just as we go spring into summer, and then again when we go autumn to winter. So here in my office, I've got 40 bases. The ones that are hanging up generally will get what I call the bass chorus. So when we go into winter, I'll start hearing the strings pinging. They'll go ping, 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 ping. And it's the necks moving because the humidity has changed, the atmospherics changed, the air pressures changed, temperatures have changed. And then we get the same thing when we go in the summer. So basically, when we go into winter, the neck will contract slightly because the temperature gets colder. Things sort of pull together. When we go into summer and higher temperatures, the wood expands. It's nature. It's the way wood works. It contracts, it expands. It never stops moving. So for me, I have 2 truss rod changes to do each year. One as we go into summer and one as we go into winter. So when you're doing a truss rod adjustment, the general rule of thumb, but it's not concrete because different manufacturers do different designs. You're going to understand what I'm talking about in a second. So generally, the rule of thumb is turn the truss rod left to loosen the truss rod and turn it right to tighten it up. So if you loosen it, if you've got an over-tensioned truss rod, so if that's your fingerboard and neck, if it's too tight, you're going to create a hump in it. If it's too slack, it's going to be like a banana. Yeah. So generally what you want to do is take out a degree of the banana element, but you don't want to over tighten so you end up with a hump. You want to get like a happy medium. So generally you kind of want it straight, but not perfectly straight. But then you've also got to address the camber of the fingerboard. So on a graphite neck base like a Status MP, which I have, funnily enough, I have here. Let's take your comment down so I can see the screen and people can see what we're talking about. So, and let's expand the window as well. There we go. Right, so I've got a graphite necked Status here. This does away with all of the problems of wooden truss rods. There is no truss rod on this base. It's a carbon graphite neck with a phenolic fingerboard. Phenolic is compressed paper. There's no truss rod on here. Once I set the action up and string height on this bass, I lock the bridge, it stays, it doesn't move. I haven't adjusted this since 2007. That's the joy of graphite. But it also has a flat fingerboard. There's no camber. So I don't have to take radius of the fingerboard into consideration. Now, if you use a wooden neck with a truss rod, the fingerboard is going to have a camber. So let me just pick out a bass. Fender Precision Light. You're not going to see it because I'm not going to be able to get it that close to the camera. Right. So there you'll see there's a camber. The fingerboard is curved. On the graphite neck base, it's flat. But on this, it's curved. So you have to address the string height when you make your adjustments. So with the truss rod, my advice, I say it every time to any bass player, if you're going to make adjustments, you're going to do your own truss rods. Slowly. Do not make horrendous, like all-in-one turns, you know, 360 degree revolutions of the Allen key or screwdriver. No. Quarter turns maximum, maybe a half turn at full whack. But if you're making adjustments, it might be your neck has never been adjusted, in which case you might need to do bigger turns. I've had basses and I've seen basses where the actual truss rod hasn't been turned into being active. So there's no what's the word I'm looking for? There's no pressure on the neck. So the neck has been allowed to just sort of fester without any truss rod adjustment. The truss rod is there for you. It's like having a service done on your car. You'd have it done roughly every year. If your car's needy, it might get look at that every 6 months. But anyway, the idea is you make the truss rod active. And as I say, twice a year, you'll just very small adjustments just to keep the thing. It's just keeping the timber, the fingerboard, the frets all in adjustment. If you buy a bass and someone hasn't done that, it will be very obvious. You might have a humped fingerboard or a bowed fingerboard. And I've had those. And I've had basses as well that have had the truss rod totally wound super tight and you can't undo it. In which case you've got to take the nut off and wind the truss rod out and put a new one in. But likewise, you get some basses and the truss rod hasn't even been wound to the point that it's connecting, that then can have an effect. So from the start, any adjustments you might make, Bill Clements, good to see you. Always do just a quarter turn, whether you're tightening or loosening. If you need to tighten, I still advise doing a quarter turn to loosen first, to make sure you're not at maximum in terms of tightening. If you just take a quarter turn, slacken off, but you need to then do half a turn to add a quarter turn of tightening, then do that. Some basses that have been over tightened, you might need to do a 360 degree turn of slackening, but always do a quarter turn first. Give it a minute or two, see if it adjusts. And sometimes that's all it needs. My GBs, has a dual, well, all my GBs have a dual action truss rod in. Bernie's a good old bird. And twice a year. All I ever have to do, and I'll be playing and go, whoa. It happened last January, actually, the white one. It was really cold here in London, and the neck over tightened. So the strings were literally against the frets, and I went on stage to play. Sound check, the bass had been fine. I went on stage, and the venue room was quite cold. And literally the strings were against the frets. I went, I can't play that. And I haven't got time to adjust it. So I used a Lakeland that I had with me. When I got home, again, the strings were still against the frets. I literally did a quarter turn to loosen off, and the thing went back to completely playable. And then when we got to summer, I did a 1/4 inch turn to tighten up. Strings went perfectly as they should. So always bear that in mind. Small adjustments with truss rods. Don't do big, all-encompassing adjustments. You're just going to cause yourself a load of problems. Right, 3 bases all have different truss rod locations. Okay, this is something that confuses people. So your truss rod adjustment could be at the base of the neck before you get to the pickups, or it could be at the headstock end. Now, whether you're looking up the neck towards the headstock when it's at the base of the neck, or you turn the bass round and you're looking down the neck towards the bridge and the pickups and the adjustments there, the left and right thing remains. So if you're looking up the neck towards the headstock, it's still left to loosen, right to tighten. And if you've got the bass the other way round and you're looking down the neck towards the body, it's still left to loosen, right to tighten. Now, there are some truss rods and some manufacturers that buck the trend. Generally, if you've bought a bass new, there'll be documentation that comes with the bass, and it will tell you. Some Ibanez's I've seen have done the opposite. So right to loosen, left to tighten. I have a Stingray 5-string status graphite neck on my Stingray over here. I'll get it out, but you're not going to be able to see everything I'm talking about because I don't have screwdrivers to hand. So on this bass, so it's a Stingray with a status graphite neck. Okay. On this, try not to ding the ceiling. Hey, on this, you'll see here, we've got 2 screws. One there and one there. If I take those screws out, there's a little covering plate just here. There. Try and get it closer and you see it's a very small plate. And basically it gives me access to a truss rod that's in here. I'd never adjusted that truss rod, and during lockdown, I was doing a setup on this bass. And I was thinking, okay, I need to adjust the truss rod. And I was following the left to loosen, right to tighten. The neck wasn't doing anything. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Got in touch with Status. They went, oh no, ours do it in the opposite way. Right to loosen, left to tighten. I was like, okay, I didn't know that. And then when I went online and looked at their documentation for their necks, which you could still buy at that point, it said in there, our necks don't follow the general consensus of adjustment. So if you want to tighten it, you have to turn it left. You want to loosen it, you turn it right. Once I got that, suddenly the neck fell straight into place immediately. So always do your research before you start doing truss rod adjustments. Although, when you've built some confidence up, you'll know just by a 1/4 inch turn either way, you'll be able to see what the difference is. And then what I would suggest is before you start doing your adjustments, you need to assess if is the neck straight or not. So with that, I put a capo on the first fret, and then I will fret at usually the 17th fret. Sometimes I might do the 15th, just depends on the bass, scale length, all of that. So capo on at the first, fret at the 17th, and then get string gauges And I usually check around the 3rd, 5th, and 7th frets. If you watch my workbench videos, you'll see me doing this. So I have feeler gauges. And usually I'm looking for about, I think I'm looking for about 11, 12, 13 64ths of an inch gap between the bottom of the string and the top of the fret. If there's too much, then obviously the truss rod needs to be tightened. If I can't get the gauge in there because it's too tight, then obviously it needs slackening off. Now this is a constant process, so you can do it, make the adjustment, come back and measure it again and find it's still not right. You may need to do several adjustments. Some bases you can get it right first time. Now, if the truss rod adjustment is at the base of the neck, so say it's an old kind of Fender style, so I have a Mike Dirnt Mexican Precision over here. In order to adjust that, I have to take the neck off. So what I do is I wrap rubber tubing around the strings at the top, slacken them off, put the rubber tubing so I don't have a huge load of restringing and rewinding to do. Then I'll undo the screws that are holding the neck in place, and then I've got access to the screw. It's usually a Phillips, a large Phillips, but you can use a large flathead screwdriver. Do your adjustment, quarter turn, maybe a half turn max. Bolt the neck back up, tighten the strings back up, take the rubber tubing off, and do your checks again. Sometimes these things are really quick and easy. Sometimes it can take a good half an hour to an hour to get it right. And sometimes you can make an adjustment and see no change. Give it an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and suddenly you come back and the bass is how you want it to be. These things aren't instant. Wood is a naturally moving product. So you can make those changes on the truss rod and like I say, nothing happens. Come back a couple of hours later and it's like, whoa, bass is right. It's how I wanted it to be. So it's just a case, you have to check these things out, okay? And that's it. But generally, don't do these jobs if you are in a rush, because invariably you're going to open a can of worms that isn't necessarily going to solve itself quickly. But if you follow methods and measurements and the way I do it, which I've got from Dave's World of Fun stuff, if you do things methodically, and if you see, a lot of people will say, well, I just do it by feel and sight, and that's good, that's fine, but that's not going to always fix the problem. So if you do the measuring thing, you know what you want the measurements to be or what they should be. You've then got a basis to work from. So if it's wildly, like you want 13 64ths and it's 20, then you know you've got that much to work with. Alternatively, if it's on 5 and you want 13, you need that. And then when it comes to doing string height, pickup height, which are very important as well, adjusting a truss rod isn't the be all and end all. Sometimes string height and the pickup height is really important because it's creating the magnetic area that picks up the vibration for the string. Some people have their pickups right on the string and then wonder why they get really bad tone. Alternatively, some people sink their pickups right into the body and then wonder why their tone is really weak and there's not a strong signal. So again, if you look on my workbench videos, I explain all these sort of conundrums and how to adjust them. Again, the measurements are generally standard. So a lot of these things have come through from Fender when they first came out with Precisions and Jazzes. There was a general accepted measurement for string height, pickup height, truss rod adjustment. And that's generally what has followed through. Although over time, some manufacturers have changed and have got different tolerances, different measurements. Always check the manufacturer's website, because sometimes they will have a section that says how to adjust and set up our basses. Then again, there can be different basses within their ranges, their product ranges, with totally different measurements. Just the way it goes. But worth checking out. But get your tools, work out what you want to do beforehand, get your measurements in place, and then you've got something to work with. and then you can just go for it. But again, don't be scared of a truss rod. Lot of players get really sort of, oh, I can't do it. I've got to pay someone £100 to do it. No, you haven't. Really, you haven't. But if you work slowly and methodically, you can probably achieve what you want to achieve. If it helps, film yourself doing it and talk on camera. I'm changing this, and at the moment it measures whatever. I'm going to do this. If you then get lost in what you're doing, you can watch the video back and make the adjustment. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. You don't necessarily have to pay tech people, luthiers, repair shops to do this stuff. They know the stuff off the bat, and they've done it for thousands of instruments. But this is how you learn. If you're scared about doing it, buy a really cheap, rickety old bass that's cheap secondhand, and do all these things on it. And that's, again, how you learn. And if you destroy the bass, doesn't matter. It didn't cost you a fortune. But you'll probably save that money in not having to go to tech shops, repair shops, luthiers to get that work done. Now, I still go to techs and repair shops if I come across something on my own basses that I don't know how to do, or I don't have the time to do, or the inclination, and I don't go anywhere near replacing pickups, replacing circuits. If I get a noisy circuit and control lubrication isn't sorting it out, then I'll take it to the workshop and let them deal with it. But I don't sort of replace my own circuits, and I could learn to solder and all that. I can't be bothered. I'd rather just pay someone to do it. So on those sort of things, trust people who know what they're doing. But with regard to just making your bass playable and setups, anyone can really do that. You don't have to have fret files and all of that. That comes further down the line. And if you need a serious fret dress on a bass, there's no harm with taking that to a repair shop and letting them do that. They've got those tools. I bought my own tools to do it because when we went in lockdown, and actually before that, 2 years before that, I thought, I seem to keep going to repair shops for jobs that are fairly minor. I'm sure I could do this myself. Looked into the tools that were required and started to have a go myself. And then during lockdown, obviously, I had 30 odd basses that needed setting up and tweaking and what have you. So did it myself. Watched Dave's World of Fun stuff and thought, right, well, I'm going to have a go at that. And develop the confidence to have a go. So I hope that helps, Joe. If I can be of any more assistance, let me know. If you want to know specific products, then we can go into that. More than happy to tell you what I use. Bill Derbyshire, use the Music Nomad tools, and that seems to cover my needs. Music Nomad stuff is great. Dunlop stuff's great. Ernie Ball stuff is good too. There's a lot of it out there. It's again, find the products you like, and generally that's what you'll end up using. I use sort of a mixture of all three, and the few other things that aren't, like Dr. Duck's Axe Wax isn't made by any of those companies, but I use that a lot for cleaning fingerboards, lubricating, polishing up. Great product. Bill Derbyshire, Marushchik basses are the opposite also. There you go. So they're using left to tighten, right to loosen. Yeah. They are out there. Some companies do it differently. You just, for someone like myself that's done numerous adjustments, it would become, and after my experience with the status bass, it would become obvious which way is doing what. And again, if you put an Allen key or a screwdriver into an adjustment for a truss rod, and you go left to loosen, and it doesn't feel like it's loosening, you know it's tightening. So then if you go right, and that feels like it's loosening, it's obvious. If you can't tell either way, then it could be it's just not active. It's not hasn't interacted. The nut hasn't interacted with the truss rod. So I hope that helps. But like I say, there'll be some new workshop videos coming very soon, possibly this week. I had intended on doing a load of that this week. It's been so cold, and I just didn't want to take the basses out there to do that. And actually, one of the basses I wanted to use today, the white GB, but I'm going to use something else. I'm going to use the... What am I doing? I'm going to take the Bootsy bass with me. I'm going to take my Alembic Persuader, and I'm going to take my GB Kingfisher Blue Rumour for today's gig. Uncle Funk's Disco Inferno in Harlow, doing a private birthday party. We'll have some fun. Blow the cobwebs away. So if you've got any questions about bass guitars, bass effects, bass amps, anything to do with bass, let me know. Add your comments and questions in the live chat box. If you're on the mobile app, it's directly below. If you're on the desktop version, it's that way. And I'll try and help you as much as I can. If I can't help or I don't know the answer, I'll open it up to the floor. Let these fine people offer their input. So I hope everyone's doing okay. It's 20 past 1 here in London, here in the UK. This is Live Chat 95 here on Brooks's Bass Corner, edging ever closer to the big 100, which by my reckoning falls on the 15th of February. Next Saturday, we will be back on at 2 o'clock, not midday next Saturday. I've got an evening gig next week in London, and I don't need to leave here till nearer the time. So we'll be on at 2 o'clock UK time next Saturday. And actually, I think the next couple of weeks will all be 2 o'clock. So let me just check the schedule. So, yep, next week at 2 o'clock. Week after will be 2 o'clock. Week after that, which will be the 1st of February, will be a midday start. Again, I've got a private party, again, an Uncle Funk show. So that's the way it'll be going. So let me know if any of you got new bass gear for Christmas, or maybe looking at some new stuff now with the sales. And obviously we've got NAMM show coming up as well. Not sure how that's going to run with the West Coast fires, if they don't get any rain there soon. So lots of new gear appearing, of course. Yeah. No doubt social media will be flooded with the manufacturers, distributors, and the artists doing their thing at NAMM. Just checking stream health, just checking everything's working. That's all good. Yeah, stream health is good. That's what we like to see. Okay, if you want to join me live here, you can. Just send me an email. There's a ticker running along the bottom of the screen. Email me, brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. I'll send you an invite. You click on the invite, you come live to screen. Simple as that. Very easy. And if you want to have a chat about basses, bass gear, bass players, feel free. If you don't want to show your face, but you do want to have a chat, we can do that by audio as well. Exactly the same process. You just turn your camera visual off at your end, or I can do it from my end as well. So all good. All good. So you're not tied just to the live chat text that's running on the side of the screen or underneath the video window. If you're on the mobile app, you can actually come on here visually, like having a Zoom call. And Joe, if you want to do that, if you want to show me any of the basses that you're going to be working on, let me see. And I'll try and talk you through it if you're doing it immediately. More than happy to do that. So let's see. I think it was an afternoon lunchtime kickoff in the FA Cup Here in the UK, let's have a look, see what the scores are. Yeah. Birmingham are 1-0 up against Lincoln City. Wolverhampton are up 2-1 against Bristol. Middlesbrough Blackburn are 0-0. Liverpool are 2-0 up against Accrington Stanley. I expected a higher goal tally there. Well done, Accrington Stanley, for keeping it down to 2-0. Okay. We're all good. We're all good. Which Moraustic bass have you got, Bill? Bill Derbyshire, talking to you. Which model have you got? I've reviewed several over the years. Nearly took the plunge on a couple of occasions as well. Just had other things that took a higher priority purchasing wise. Let me know. Let me know. So if you've got any ideas for things you'd like to see here on the channel, let me know. I do have a very long list of content that's going to be going up over the next 2 months. So if there's something you would like to see, or something you'd like to see addressed, or particular basses, pedals, amps, bass-related gear, let me know. Joe Packett, I bought a cheap Glary 6 to get a start on 6-string. And it's a stunning challenge to get muting experience. The action is too high and the truss rod is under a cover at the top of the neck. Okay, you should be able to just take the cover off and get access to, I'm guessing it's going to be a screw or a bolt, unless it's using a bullet. So bullets are what Fender used to use on their 70s basses, like a metal, well, it looks like a bullet, funnily enough. And the Allen key fits in the top of the bullet, and then you are able to adjust. Okay, is that a Glary 6-string bass or 6-string guitar? Bill Derbyshire, after me saying I'm selling basses, a new one crept in before Christmas. It's a 5-string Hills headless fan fret. Wowzers. Thought it would help with the key changing singer. Ha ha! Yeah, I see, my approach to that is just use the drop pedal. And actually, I've got my eye on a Electro Harmonics Pitchfork pedal, which might be coming in here at Brooks Towers. So I'll be able to do a comparison of the two pedals very shortly. I've always wanted to try the Pitchfork, never had access to one to try, so I'm going to just have to buy one and see what it does. And someone messaged me, was it on the live chat, or it might have been a comment on a video, about going up as opposed to dropping. So if they were in concert tuning on their bass and they were doing a song in A, the singer wanted to do it in B, how could they pitch shift up? And I said, well, you'd have to look at pitch shifting pedals. I don't know of too many that are done specifically for bass. And the EHX Pitchfork is for any instrument. So I haven't used one. I want to try one and see how it works, both in going up and coming down. So I can compare it. Juice, love the Pitchfork, tracks very well. Excellent, thank you. Right, well, I'll be checking that out, and there'll be a video of that and then comparing it with the drop pedal as well. So we'll see. Joe Packett, bass, a 6-string bass. Okay, and yes, the rod is under a cover held on by tiny Phillips head screws. Right, okay, take that cover off and you'll see instantly what you're looking at. Check online with the manufacturer what their truss rod is doing. So it should be left to loosen, right to tighten. But as I've said and others have confirmed, some manufacturers do it the other way. You want to get it right. Bill Derbyshire got a Moraustic L4AL. Put teeth in, Mike. A Mirage Chick L4AA. I've done it again. A Mirage Chick, third time lucky, L4A Elwood, and a Jake C4P fretless. Excellent. Very good. And how do you find them, Bill? Are they good? Solid? Good tones? Any bad points? Any good points? Let me know. I've looked at both of those models over time. I did a review of, let's see what I did the review of. I did it at Bass Direct when we were doing a review day. It was the blue one with the white pearloid guard. It was the... Ugh. Click on that. There's no images in that, Mike. You don't get a preview of that. It was the Mirage Chick Jake L4A PJ. And I also did the Frog Omega 4A, which was the headless. And I did the Sputnik 5A. Yeah. But the Jake, I was very impressed with. I very nearly bought that day. Very close, I have to say. I was very close to buying it. Sounded great, looked great. A big win. I gave it a big thumbs up. I think it even was in the gear of the year. The corresponding gear of the year that fell into. Yeah, I gave it 9 out of 10 on every category. Build quality, sound quality, and overall. 9 out of 10. What did I say? Let's have a look. I said... Oh, cripes, got to zoom in a bit there, Mike. I said... in terms of pluses, the tones, construction, and response. Oh, this was when the editor was cutting down on size of comments. Minus points, nothing. Overall, a fine performer in every respect with great visuals, great tones, and great playability. Here we go. Yeah, Delano pickups. Delano active 3-band EQ, 9 volt. It was 1,300 quid at that time, which was 2017. Yeah. Bill, they are excellent basses and have no complaints in any area. Great tone. Thought it would struggle with the fretless as it's unmarked, but no issues. Excellent. Superb. Yeah, I've been impressed with their stuff. I know they had a little bit of a run-in. To do with some Black Lives Matters stuff. It might even have been before that. Some issues, I think, to do with some comments that the guy that runs the company put out online. But that was some time ago, and it seems to have blown over. So. Okay. So if you're just waking up in the US, welcome. Yeah, we started early today. We started early. It was a midday start here in the UK for today's live chat. I'm gigging today. So I'm out the door. Once this live chat finishes, we are in the car off to sunny Harlow. I hope it's sunny. I hope it's sunny. It's nice here. We've got bright blue sky. Well, you can see it's bright coming through the blinds, but it's back on the gig scene today with Uncle Funk's Disco Inferno. I've got my hoodie there, ready to go. Basses are sort of semi-packed. I've just got to do the gig bags up. I wasn't going to put them in the car while it's cold outside. So all the disco hits, I think it's his 60th birthday today. I know we're playing for someone called Jill O'Neill up in Harlow. It's her birthday party. I thought it was the 60th, but I might have been looking at other gig events we got coming up. So it's not too bad a finish. 11:30 finish. Sound check is at 5:30. So I want to be there for 4:30. Make sure I get parked, get the gear in, set up, and off we go. Start doing our thing. It's 25 to 2 here in London, here in the UK. You are watching Brooks's Bass Corner. Live chat 95. 95 of these. Goodness me. And thank you for tuning in, joining us, wherever you are on the planet. Hope your bass playing's going well. Hope life's treating you okay. If you want to join in live by video or audio, you can do. There's a what's it called? What's it called? I know. Go to the banners section. Ticker. Thank you. That's it. Running along the bottom of the screen. If you want to join me by video or audio, you can. Drop me an email, brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. I'll send you an invite, and then you click on the invite, and you are live here on the channel. So if you like 15 seconds of fame, you can have it. Come on here, join me by video. My hair is all frizzy today because I did a dog walk just before I went out, and it's all gone ballistic, and I'm due a haircut on Wednesday. So you'll have to take me as you find me today, I'm afraid. But yeah, should be a good show tonight, hopefully. I'll be doing a video, going to get a day in the life kind of thing. Not everything, but once I leave, I'm going to set the phone up in the car, and I'm going to take you on the show with me today. Not live chat. It'll be a one of its kind video. So this year there's going to be a bit more vlogging stuff here on the channel. See what I get up to on gig days, and yeah. Got some nice festivals coming up, got some nice gigs. You'll see all the different bands that I play with. So Uncle Funk, the Queen tributes, ABBA tributes, function stuff. Yeah, it's all good. Got some Oasis gigs coming for later in the year, summertime. Came in yesterday. So, yeah, it's going to be a varied year, I think. And a lot more content here on the channel. It's been a slow start. I thought we were going to get a video up on Wednesday, which is the video for which was meant to predate today's live chat, talking about my 30-year professional career as a musician. And the editing just didn't seem to end. It was like, oh, got to do this, got to do that, add that bit in, do that, and time ran away. And it will be up this week. Probably Tuesday or Wednesday. I've got some accounts to do next couple of days before the self-employment deadline on the 31st. Get that over to the accountant, and then it's filming and editing all the way. Have you got any? Don't try and talk while you're trying to swallow a drink. If you've got any questions about bass guitars, bass amps, effects, accessories, strings, cleaning materials, anything to do with bass, let me know. Put your message in the live chat window and I can respond to it. Alternatively, you can come on live by video. You want to talk bass? If you've got a question about gear, or you're just looking for some advice, more than happy to help. It's what we're here for. And if I don't know the answer, I'll open it up to the floor. These fine people that come on Brooks's Bass Corner live chats on a regular basis. We're a nice bunch. Come and get involved. I can see we've got 7 of you on here at the moment. Thank you for getting on the bus this week. Let's just check everything's all ticking over. It's all good. Yep, looks to be okay. Very good. So we'll probably run till about 2:30, 3 o'clock tops. Then I've got to get out the door and go to work. Go earn a few bob. Yeah, not very much. Probably about like £7.50. And we're going to be doing, I think we're doing 2 1-hour sets tonight. So it's the full set list. Thankfully, I've done a couple of run throughs. Haven't done an Uncle Funk show since the middle of December. So it's been blowing a few cobwebs off, getting the fingers going. It's amazing, actually, with Uncle Funk. You know, everything just sort of falls into place. I'm practicing to live video of us playing. And you think, oh, God, I haven't played for weeks. You just put it on. Just start playing. It's all good. No problems. No issues. And I've got the voice back, which is an added bonus. So backing vocals will be in full effect tonight. So the Fretless Odyssey, it's coming. It's coming. I assure you, it's coming. I've just been this week. I did the filming for the career video, and the podcast videos I've been filming this week. But the Fretless thing, that's imminent. The script is there for the first 5 episodes, so I've just got to film it and do it. So now I've got a tidier, ish, office. It was tidier as of 10 o'clock last night. I can start filming again. So once I get my tax and my accounts out of the way this week, it will be full steam ahead on the video production. So keep watching. Hey, now I don't know how to say that name. The $3FH8 at. I don't know what that's meant to be. Davey5 has white hair now and older. Are you talking about Dave 504? I think that's him. White hair and older. Nah, I don't encroach on his audience. He's more about the comedy side. But very good. You're very welcome here on the channel. If you got any bass related questions or you're here for the hang, that's all cool. You're very welcome. Yeah. Are you a bass player? Let me know. Yes, sir. Excellent. What are you playing? Where are you based? I presume in the States, maybe? What bass are you playing? What gear you got? Pedals? I apologise for the dogs are going nuts. The Amazon man's just turned up. Any questions? Any bass related questions? I have white hair. I tell you, it's because of the light. I used to be blonde. Multi-instrumentalist, Tennessee. Good. Old studio musician, regional tours. Excellent. What instruments are you playing these days? What's floating your boat? And feel free, if you want to come on here by video, just email me. Ticker's running along the bottom of the screen. Email me at brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. If you want to come on by video or audio, you can do. You just send me an email. I send you an invite, and you can come on here live. I don't think Davey 504 does live chats, does he? I don't know. Someone asked me last week, actually Joe Goose asked what I thought about other people's YouTube channels and the bass channels and stuff. And I openly admitted I don't really see any of it. I don't have time. I don't have time to follow what all the other bass YouTubers do. I don't generally take an interest because I'm so busy doing my own thing. Scripting, generating ideas, recording, editing, life generally, looking after 2 dogs, keeping the house ticking over, doing gigs. It's that there isn't the time. I'm not an avid YouTube watcher. I just don't have the time for it. I'll do what I need to do in order to keep the channel running and everything else, but I don't spend hours of my time watching YouTube because I just don't have the time. I'm too busy producing the content, which seems odd considering how intermittent my production is, but that will now change. Regular viewers of the channel will know the past 2 years have been a slight challenge here at Brooks Towers because my in-laws have both passed away, and that took up a lot of time. But we'll be back on it this year, I promise. Now, I don't know how to say that name, the $3FH8 app. You've got Fender Jazz, Fernandez, okay. Music Man, excellent. You've been playing keys lately, since that seems to be what people need. I've not been approached yet to do bass synth, bass keys. It does come up occasionally in one of the WhatsApp bass groups I'm on, where either it's you got to play upright and electric, but occasionally you get it'll be a gig that's being offered, so it's up to you whether you apply for it. Got to play keys and electric bass, but I don't get asked it personally, and probably if I did, I'd say no. I'm not that au fait with playing keys. I did do piano lessons about 10 years ago, and I had to stop because there just wasn't time to do the practice between the lessons, so that didn't happen. And I went into it with the full intention of really nailing it down and being able to play piano or keys or whatever. And I did about 6 to 8 weeks of lessons, and then the woman who was teaching me, who was a personal friend, fellow dog walker, just said, "You're not doing the practice, are you?" I was like, "Well, I just haven't had the time." She said, "Well, if you don't do the practice, there's no point doing the lessons." And I thought, and I'm a musician, and I was like, "No, I get it. And at the time, we had a chocolate Labrador, and he busted his knee. He had a cruciate ligament issue, and it ate up months of time. And in the end, I went back to my piano teacher and just went, "I'm going to have to put this on hiatus. I just can't do it. I've got too many other things, and I can't commit. And I'm paying for lessons, and I'm not doing the practice. Kind of not going to happen." You grew up on a college campus as a kid. Piano rooms were your playground. It was fun for you. Okay, lucky childhood, really. Yeah. It's amazing how many musicians, even you learn stuff as a kid, and when I say that, I mean 18 and under. You just gravitate to it, and you learn stuff, pick stuff up really good, because you haven't got all the other things that happen in life. You haven't got to worry about paying bills, paying your rent. You're at school, you're doing all that kind of thing. Once you get to like 16, 18, 20, and I come across people like this all the time that want to learn bass or learn any instrument, just say, "I just don't have the time to do it." Or they go into it with I want to do it. And they buy an amp and a guitar or a bass, and then give them 2 months and they just go, "Haven't even picked it up, hasn't come out of the bag," because they're doing all the other things that life entails. And anyone of any age can pick up an instrument and start making it a hobby. And if you're focused enough, you can go out and earn money doing it, doing gigs and what have you. But if you don't pick up an instrument when you're a kid, the learning curve is that much greater and that much more steep. Whereas, when I picked up a bass at 15, that was it. Bang, that's my focus every day, as well as going to school. You get home from school, do your homework. I'm into bass, do 3 or 4 hours every night. And whether that's listening to records and playing along, or reading about bass, or learning, or watching videos of bass players. And it was a different time. And also we had far fewer challenges for our attention back then in the late 80s. But there we go. Cool. So are you working? Are you busy at the moment? I don't know how to say that name. Give me a different name. Tell me what your name is. I can call you that. The $3FH8 at. I don't know what that is. You're a studio producer taught me the number system. Very good. and helped me start playing for local groups, subbing before I was out of school. Underage, but really protecting my cool people. Okay, cool. Jump. Welcome. Good to have you on board. Cool. Cool. Nice. Well, if you're first time here on the channel, because I don't recognize your name and I don't think you've watched anything here on the channel, maybe you have. So I'm a working bass player. I'm celebrating 30 years as a pro this year. I've been playing since 87, been a pro since 95. Hello, sir. Give me Java. Good to see you. Welcome. Come on in. You're amongst bass players here, so you're very welcome. Yeah, I started playing in 87. Been a pro since 95. Been a full-time pro since 95. Used to write for Bass Guitar Magazine and Bass Player Magazine. Done over 4,500 gigs. I'm off on one as soon as this live chat's finished. And here you are on Brooks's Bass Corner. This is my YouTube channel that I've been doing for 4.5 years. I hope you can find some content on here that you enjoy, that you find helpful, useful, good information, a bit educational maybe. And yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, it is. It's your first time. My first paid gig was playing for Pat Boone. Wowzers. Okay. Very, very good. Very good. What sort of year was that? When are we talking? 70s, 80s, 60s maybe. I don't know. I know who Pat Boone is. Yeah. But yeah, these are regular live chats. So we used to do Tuesday nights. We're now doing Saturday afternoons. It's afternoon here in the UK. So it's just coming up to 2 p.m. So this is a little bit of an experiment for 3 months. We're going to see if Saturday afternoon live chats, whether they work better than Tuesday evenings, whether they work less good than Tuesday evenings. Maybe some people want both Saturday afternoons and Tuesday evenings. We don't know. So this is a little bit of a test. So you're welcome here anytime. Saturday afternoon, you'll find us up until the end of March. That was 1980 was my first time with him. I was the young pup. We've all been there. Excellent. Excellent. I know you're still finding you're able to make a living being a musician. It's testing. Here in London, it's changed radically. In the last 10 years, it's changed immensely. A lot of the regular circuit gigs have gone. There are more and more musicians than there's ever been. The music colleges are churning out a production line of musicians for an industry that doesn't have the level of work to keep everyone working. And okay, any industry, you could say that's the case. But I feel it here. I'm keeping working because of my networking and the people that I've known for years and years. I do, and I was always wary of this when I hit sort of 35, 40, I'm 52 now, that you aren't necessarily in touch with the younger brigade that are coming up. So unless you're playing those venues and they see you, they don't even know you exist. So I'm very aware that a lot of the places I used to play that do still exist, if I'm not playing in them now, the young guns have no idea who I am. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I went through the same thing with older musicians when I was coming up. And you'd see these guys and go, well, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? But it's very different now. It's very different now. And a lot of the younger guys only do function gigs. So I don't know the younger bass players because it's very rare that you can have two bass players crossing paths on the same gig unless you're doing festivals and what have you. So yeah, funny old time. Funny old time. You played synth for Pat Boone. Okay, he didn't have synth for his regional stuff. Okay. Joe Packett, spitting bars now about the economics of industry. Yeah. Yeah, it's a different time. I mean, but I'm very fortunate the work that I do now. I didn't do a lot of what I'm doing now before. I used to be in regular gigging covers bands that were gigging 3, 4, 5 times, 6 times a week. Now I'm in tribute bands and genre bands. So today's gig, Uncle Funk's Disco Inferno, by the sheer name, you'll realise it's a disco band. Yeah, we do a lot of private stuff. We do a lot of festivals. We do a lot of theatres, a lot of big corporate events. Queen bands, private dues and theatres, a few festivals here and there. ABBA, exactly the same, you know, but I'm not playing the regular circuit gigs. And as I said, here in London, there are fewer and fewer of those around. Even 10 years ago, I would compare what it was like in 2005, 2006. And back then, I'd say 60 to 70% of the gigs that I did in 20 years ago had gone. Now I'd say 80 to 85% of that work has gone. So it's very different. And there hasn't been new stuff to fill the gap by the venues that have gone. Some things have appeared, and some businesses and chains and corporates have tried to do things. Oh, we'll have bands, and then it lasts 3 months, and then it stops and it doesn't come back. But just the general accessibility of regular gigs just isn't there. It just isn't there. Or if it is, I don't know about it, and I'm not digging hard enough to find those places. Some of the places that remain have severely reduced what they're paying the bands and the musos. And then you have to say, well, do I want to do it? And that's, you know, are you willing to go out for pittance money? Personally, I wouldn't, but then I have the YouTube channel now. I have other income streams that take time. Time is the currency you don't get enough of, sadly. But hey, there we go. At least we're out working, and I've got enough to keep me ticking over till we get to April, and then it all goes mad again. So, you know, festivals, lots of weddings, lots of all sorts actually in the diary this year. It's oh, you've retired, so now I paid very little for sub outs and studio work. Okay, and then for personal, I play at church, benefits, and youth work. Cool. It's all good. As long as you enjoy your playing, it's good. When it becomes a chore and you're not enjoying it, that's the time to pack it in, I guess. But no, we're all good. We're all good. So I did, I think, close to about 100 gigs last year. I used to do closer to 200. So it shows you how times have changed. But like I say, the bands I play in now are quite different from the regular gigging that I used to do with the covers bands. But I was always of the mind that I wanted to earn more and work less. So work smarter, not harder. And that's kind of what I do. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Jamie Millard, Mr. JD with the pink beard. He's here. We know him. We love him. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Hope all is good. Yes, well, yes, I'm definitely still working. Lord knows I am. I felt it actually this Christmas. It wasn't the busiest December I'd ever had, but there was a fair bit of driving and quite a lot of late nights. And I did feel it in the build up to Christmas. I was like, yeah, it's been busy, but it wasn't mad busy. It was just busy. You're snowed in. We're not. But I do have frost on the ground, and it is going to be cold overnight. But where we've had freezing temperatures for the past week and a half, we've been told it's going to be 6 degrees on Monday and 9 degrees for the following about 12 days. From Tuesday onwards, we're going to get 9 degrees. So I'm getting the shorts out and the flip-flops ready. You know, get the legs out. You remember your first over 200 set year? I was invincible. Yeah, that was it. We used to be, you know, when you're in your 20s and you're doing that level of gigging, you were absolutely. I'd managed to do that for quite a number of years, probably about 12 or 13 years. We were close to 200 a year, and then it started to change. It started to drop down from about 2014. The big change in my covers band, and I've said it many times, was after the recession in 2008, when smartphones became prevalent, Facebook and social media became prevalent, and people were able to book bands not through agencies anymore. They were able to book direct very easily and very quickly. And what you found then was it wasn't the work level that dropped, it was the amount of bands and people suddenly playing live on the cheap that affected the bands that were out there doing it before that. So before sort of 2009, 2010, my covers band was relentless. We would do 5, 6 gigs a week, every week. And once there were more bands, and we thought the recession would kill off some of the lower end bands because they just couldn't make the economics work. It actually had the opposite effect. There were more bands, but playing cheaper. So what we used to ask for on private events, weddings, corporate bookings, what have you, we were then struggling to get, and we had to amend what our asking prices were and what we were charging. And it carried on into the 2010s up until I left that band in 2015. And by 2014, there was a serious drop-off in the level of work. But also the regular gigging work had started to dry up as well. Jamie, all ice. That stops you getting out of work. I know that when it's like that. Thankfully, we haven't had that this time round. We haven't really had much snow. We had a few little flurries last weekend. But I'm hoping the roads stay good. It's sunny out, but I'm just hoping it's not too icy tonight on the way home. Now you want to find the elevator. Yeah, I get you. You gig 150 times a year now. We'll get you. That's good. That's good going. If you can do it, do it. See, I'd rather do less gigs, but earn the same or more money. So if I can earn what I would earn for 150 gigs doing 100 gigs, then I'm well up for that. Alternatively, if I'm getting offered 150 and I'm earning stupid money, then fabulous. That's right up my street. Who wants to haul my rig? I rarely use rigs these days. I do on the Queen shows, although I've started doing more and more of those with IEMs. Uncle Funk, we're totally IEM. So today's gig, all I'm taking is 3 basses, costume bag, my gig bag, pedal board, 2 leads. That's it. That's traveling light. I don't really have to haul gear around like I used to. But I have it for when I need it. If I pan the camera around, which I'm not going to do because you'll see the mess that's at the other end of the room, I have a wall of amplification. And yes, it works as a backdrop for the videos, but also it's there for gigging. So I take what I need based on any given gig. Pretty much I'm all lightweight gear these days. I do have the old heavy EBS cabinets. I've got the lightweight EBS cabinets. I've got Aguilar lightweight cabinets. So I'm kind of all set up for every eventuality. Thank God for the Fender Rumble magnet technology. Yeah, I went with EBS Neos in 2009. When I moved over to Aguilar in 2018, I'm SL 212 up. So I've got 2 212 cabinets. Pink Bass Man, I use ears, 2 basses, and then the monster rig by request. Exactly. It's now getting to the point I'm going to charge people if they want me to take gear, like backline, because it's such a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass getting it in the car. It's a pain in the ass getting it out, setting it up, hoiking it about. It's there's no fun in carrying gear, that's for sure. Anyway, Pink Bass Man, how's things your end? How are we doing? Good Christmas. I've been keeping up to date on your curry adventures. Most entertaining. Let's just check that stream health is good. Yes, it is. Excellent. Fabulous. That's all good. That's all good. Excellent. Check in. No emails. If you want to join in by video, you can. Just email me at brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. I'll send you an invite. You click on the invite and you will be live here on the screen. Jamie, all good here. Looking for another JD. You're always looking for another JD. What specifically? I saw there was a 5-string blue, pearl blue, up on Facebook yesterday. Curry is a daily necessity. Doesn't it just shred your taste buds though? See, I love a good curry when I haven't had one for a while, and then you get all the joy from it. But you're putting those things in your mouth every day. Does it not just like wear away your taste buds, burn them off? The blue JD just popped up. I'm working a deal for one as we speak. Excellent. Your taste buds require it. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, here, I don't know if you can get these where you are. So we have Wagamamas over here, which is like a Indonesian, Chinese, Thai, Asian restaurants. They've now started producing their own sauces for purchase in the supermarkets. So when our shopping came this week, I'd ordered the Korean barbecue, the pad thai, and we got the firecracker. You know where this is going. So we tried the Korean barbecue. Lovely, fabulous. We used to get a Korean barbecue from Sainsbury's here, which was outstanding. It had just enough tingle without like stripping the skin off your face. So anyway, we had the Korean barbecue Wagamama sauce. Very nice. Could have done with a bit more kick, I thought. We tried the firecracker on Thursday. Oh my God. My partner managed to finish hers a lot quicker than I did. It took me 45 minutes to eat it. It was literally shredding the paint off the walls. It was so hot. And normally I can take a bit of fieriness, but this was a different level. So if you have access to Wagamama sauces through your supermarket, check out the firecracker. Okay, it's and we'd had that sauce on stuff from Wagamama's before, and we always went, "Whoa, that one's a bit spicy," not knowing firecracker was the sauce. I now understand which thing in our regular order is what's causing the problem. But this was over stir-fry vegetables, and my God, we got one more in the cupboard, and the other half has said, "I'm not eating that." And I'm thinking, well, I might have it when I'm bunged up. If I've got a cold, I'll eat it because it absolutely drained my sinuses. So if you can get the Wagamama's firecracker sauce, you want it. What's he say? Spice levels here are 1 to 5. Mine is now at 50. Yeah, I'll stick around 4, probably 3 or 4 for me. But it was very good. It was very good. It was good, but just a little too much. Like I say, it took me about 45 minutes to eat my dinner because I just had to pace myself. Yeah, it was just a little too much. A little too much poke in there for me. So what are your base tales? What's going on with you at the moment? Obviously checking out a deal on a JD. I've got no purchases incoming. Last thing I bought were these Sonicake pedals. They're here, which I've talked about on previous live chats. They'll be getting their demo and review videos this week. What else have I bought? Nothing. I don't think. No, nothing. No basses, no amps. Last pedal other than the Sonicakes was the Mercury Flanger. Source audio. That fella. Come on, camera. There you go. That was my last purchase, but otherwise everything's all good at the moment. Workshop videos coming this week, and oh, you want a link to that source? Let me see if Amazon do one. Let me see if because they do food items as well. Might do or might not. Okay, there are other companies doing something similar. Wagamama sauces. There we go. So I know the packaging has changed. So let me get the Sainsbury's one because then you'll have the new packaging. That's not what I want, is it? I want that. Just want that. Thank you. Right. Right, here we go. So they do 5 different sources. So this is the one you want. Anyone wants to check this out, if if you need to have a skin replacement or you want to take some wallpaper off the wall, this is this is the one for you. Knock yourselves out, gang. Or if you're bunged up, maybe suffering from really bad cold, you want to give your system a jolt, this will do it. Right, that a jump. As much traveling as I have over my life, I am a wimp on the international flavor scale. I'm not a wimp, but I'm kind of. I like it when I like it, and if I've had a fairly bland palate for a little while, a curry is just what I'm looking for. But if I've had a period of eating a lot of spicy food, then I'll just pass. Your son is the hot sauce king in the family. Every family seems to have one. Yeah. Yeah, Jamie's all about the hot stuff. Yeah. Give me Java. You've got the Sonicake B Factory. I love it. It's great for bass player on a tight budget. What's the B Factory? I don't think I've got that one here. Let's just have a look. Let's have a look. Which one's that? There's so many in their range. The B Factory. B Factory? B Factory. I'm not seeing it on Amazon. Right, okay. Okay, let's... Google is my friend. Oh, okay. Right, so it's overdrive, analog, preamp, compression, effects, pedal, and 3-band EQ. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, interesting. I think I did see that. Yeah. I saw that just before Christmas. Bass preamp factory. Cool. And how do you find it? What's the quality of the tones coming out of it like? Give me a heads up. Because if it's good, I'll get one. I'll buy one in and I'll do some videos on it. Bill Derbyshire, just out of interest, I put up a Warwick Adam Clayton Reverso bass for sale on Monday morning and it was gone by Tuesday. Ah, that was your one. That was the Police Squad on Bass Chat bought it because he's joined a U2 tribute. Yes, good time in there, Bill. You did well. Did well indeed. Yeah, you're not going to use that down the dog and pizzle, are you? Really? Why? Just out of interest, why did you buy that bass in the first place? I'm a fine one to talk. I've got the Warwick Bootsy, obviously the space bass here, and I've bought that for Uncle Funk gigs. But why did you buy the Warwick Reverso? I'm just interested to know. I'm intrigued. Have you sent me a link? You're coming on, are you? Ah, very good. Give me Java. It's no Sons amp, but solid tones. Okay, cool. Invite for Jamie. 2 seconds. Reply would be good. Invite sent, so I'll get the headphones ready. We get Mr. Millard on. He's coming in with his pink beard. The old rosacea's kicking in. It was cold out on the walk this morning. It really was. It woke up the senses, that's for sure. Just checking everything technologically is kicking in. We're all good. Yep, that's good. Yeah, I think Jamie's just popped out on the screen. Here he is.
Poof, we are
hello,
here.
Sir. Hello, I'm going to bring you the screen. Hold on.
Yeah, no worries.
There we go.
There we are.
Yeah, even better.
Uh-huh.
How are we?
Oh, well, like I said, it's frosty cold in Tennessee.
No weather for shorts.
Well, you know what, actually, shorts or pants.
Yeah. You know that.
I
You know that.
do.
Have any of your basses, have the necks moved?
Mm-mm. No, it's funny because you
Okay.
would think they would. Even the JDs have stayed
Yeah.
because everybody. I think you and I spoke about that one time that the JDs kind of, you know, and now they've stayed
Yeah.
legitimately straight.
Okay. Because I had all the pinging going on just before Christmas when
Oh
because
yes,
we had quite a warm December, and
right.
then the temperatures started to drop down. Once we start getting near like 5 degrees, I start getting the bass chorus in here. It goes ping, 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 ping,
Hmm.
and yeah. Ah, very nice. Yes, yes. Has that moved?
No, this is actually the
Ah,
1968.
yes. You showed that last time you
Yep.
were on. Yeah, excellent.
So this
Excellent.
one
So,
I've
so
got.
what's the? Oh,
No, it's strung down to drop. I've got it a whole step down, so I'm using it for some 80s pop kind of things.
oh, okay,
Anyway,
okay.
you were
And the
about to
neck
say,
hasn't
man.
shifted.
No,
I
not at
was
all.
about to say. I was about to say. So what's this JD that might be incoming?
So I'm speaking with a guy. Um, I'm trying to think where he is. He's in UK. He's in England. Let's, you know, and it's actually a Rode one single pickup passive fretless.
Okay.
And so I have an idea. I have an idea to change it up a wee bit. You know how we do this.
Of course.
So I'm
Been
thinking
down this road
about,
many times.
right. Well, if I pick, these other things I have over here. So,
Mm.
you know, I've been
So
speaking with
what are you?
Toby
So are
Diggins.
you gonna right? So you're gonna buy it and get it sent to JD so they can work their magic, and then it come to you from them.
And then it comes, yeah. So the
Right.
one I have with the racing stripes on it, I got from this same guy, and he's really cool. Um, and anyway, he's like, I can't sell you another one because you're going to paint it pink. I'm like, well, you can.
You
So,
either want the money or you don't.
well, that's it. Do you want me to spin Dosh to you, or are we just going to have a roundabout? So no, but it's going to work out sometime in the next little bit. And then he assured me that he would properly deliver it to the workshop
Okay.
by hand, because that's how we
Great.
did the last one.
Right.
So this
So
will be
what's
a
the
wee
plan
bit
for
different.
this?
Pardon?
Yeah. What's the plan for this?
So the plan for this is going to have kind of another unique, strange, silly pink paint job,
Okay.
and I'm going to add. I want to add frets because I have the fretless sitting here,
Mm-hmm.
and paint yet to be determined, but it could be something,
Yeah.
you know,
Begins with P, ends in
begins
K.
with P, ends with K, and it doesn't have a UN in the middle. Yes.
No.
Now, so I'm trying to
Okay.
decide because Toby is just amazing with ideas. That's kind of how. So I mean, it should be said. Let me just do this because I know you've seen
Are
this
you
one,
are you
but
gonna
for
have solid, or are you gonna have solid color, or are you going over a timber?
well, Toby did this,
Yeah. How
you
about
know,
that, boys
and
and
then of
girls?
course, I
Exactly.
had before
Exactly.
John passed, he signed the back of
Mm.
this one.
Yeah.
So
Very
you
good.
know, just to kind of to honor him.
Yeah.
But I haven't. It's probably not going to be solid.
Okay.
I'm actually thinking. Well, let me put it to you like this: it's going to be multicolored.
Oh. Ooh.
Ooh, and it
Nice.
could
So are
have
you
a.
gonna? So are you gonna? Is the color gonna go over the top wood that's on it, or are you gonna have a laminate put on the top?
No, it's going to be colored across the top because
Okay.
I really love the wooden ones. But if I'm
Mm-hmm.
sticking with the the plan, then it has to be shifted to a color that is flowing with the
Mm.
you know. So
Okay. So
yeah,
what's the top? What is the top wood at the moment?
it's a straight mahogany. It's just a two-piece
Okay.
mahogany body. It's literally, so the Rode one was the single pickup passive, the no frills,
Mm.
kind of no shocker, basic budget base.
Yeah.
And so I'm about to doctor it up and turn it into something bonkers, bollocks. You know,
Excellent. And are
yeah.
the electronics and pickups all okay, or have you got to have some work done on those?
So just because it literally it looks. Let me show you this one more time. It just because
Mm.
this is what it looks like in terms of electronics.
Yeah.
It's literally just like this. But what I'm going to do is they routed the cavities in the back for the preamp and such when they made it. So it doesn't require that kind of woodwork. It just requires the addition of the other pickup and the knobs, the preamp.
Okay? So you're going to have an EQ on it.
Yeah, it'll just be the standard, their standard electronics, because that's why I want it.
Nice.
Yeah,
Great.
I mean, I could do other things. You know, if I want to do other things, if I want to make it sound like something else, I should just buy something else.
Yes, no, that's quite right.
You know.
Well, you know what the fundamental bass character of that's going to be anyway. So
I do.
You're working within those parameters.
Yeah, cool. And so I love it. These are my jazz bass. So I don't have a jazz bass.
Okay.
So, I'll take it. I'll take it every time.
Excellent. And is he cutting you a good deal, the seller?
Yes, he is. And I actually, ironically, since we're sitting here speaking, another guy from UK just popped in and told me he's got one that he just got done that he's just now selling. And my reaction on his post was, "You're killing me."
Yeah, you're going to be poor.
Well, it's not even that so much.
February.
Well, that's when things shift anyway. But no, it's just one of those times that here it is. You just had it redone. You just had it fixed up the way you want, and all of a sudden you're shifting it.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that doesn't say
right. So cheers and all that. But to me, that's rubbish. You should play it for a little while at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but I mean, this is always the case. I mean, look, we can go across all the bass forums and stuff, and you'll find things that come into fashion and vogue, and everyone buys them up. And as soon as they drop out, it's like, right, here we go, market floods, and it's like stupid. Well, look, the whole status thing has died down.
Yes,
Prices
it has.
seem to be going back to sensible pricing, and unfortunately, you've still got those idiots who've bought Washburn statuses and think they're going to get £1,500 for them. It's like,
good luck.
It's not what you think it is. Okay.
Bon chance in French. Bon chance.
But I've seen empathies now going back to like 2,000, 2,200, 2,300. So it's like, well, that's a bit more what it should be, not 4.5, 5.
Crazy. You'll laugh when I say this, but I actually had one of those Washburn status. It was the green one, and I got it some years back. I just couldn't get on with it. I think I paid $400 for it.
They were $500 when they came out, and to be honest, until about 2010, they never went above 650, 7 max. Yep. Like it had to be pristine if you wanted £700. But generally, you could pick one up for about anything between 550, 650 was fair game. But now, ever since Rob put the semi-retirement thing up, people go, "Oh, it's £1,000." No, it's not.
Well, think about it. When Mark King came out, last year or two back out with number 3 and the Star Child bass, suddenly everybody went, "Oh!" and they suddenly had to have one. So the used prices jumped up a bunch, and kind of like the wall basses. I mean, I've had 6 walls over the years.
It's amazing what a profile of a player of profile can do to any instrument.
Indeed. Because, and that's,
if someone went out using, heaven forbid, a West Tone Thunder 1A, if a seriously profile player, Chris Wolstenholme suddenly picked up one of them and started rocking them out, you'd see their prices just go through the roof.
Oh, absolutely.
He never used to use any statuses. So Chris Wolstenholme fans were using Padulas and things he was having. As soon as he went and bought a Series 2, he was like, "Oh, okay, right, my whole canon is changing over to those." The whole fanboy thing, it's not a bad thing. God, I've bought enough basses that are signature models, not because that person played them, not because that person played them. I actually like the tones that are in that bass, and very often a signature model is going to be spec'd differently in electronics wise to what the standard model is going to be.
That's right. So the only exception to that is the Billy Sheehan bass. Exactly
that. I can see Dawson is trying to get in here. Just bear with me a moment.
Bring him on.
Dawson, I'm not seeing your email, mate. I can't see it. Dawson is our friend from Canada.
Let's go.
Where are you, Dawson? can't see your email. It ain't there. Right, I'll watch it. See if you appear.
So you had Give Me Java was talking about the Sonicake beef factory.
Yeah.
If I could say this to him, you're right. It's not a SansAmp, but it's a good one. The SansAmp or the SansAmp platform just does wonders.
Okay. I realise what I've got to do here. I'm coming back to you, Jamie. I've just got to send Dawson a request. Hold on.
No worries.
Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There we go. Dawson, I'm sending you the invite now. We'll see you pop up. Jump, I saw you've just left. This has been delightful. Thank you very much. What a pleasure. I have to shovel some snow for my neighbour. I've subscribed and set notifications. Jump Keys, retired American musician. Jump, you're very welcome. Hopefully see you again next week. Anything,
yes, indeed.
Come in on the live chats, leave comments, share the videos, comment. Fabulous. Thank you very much. We'll wait for Dawson. Yes, that Sonicake. Yes, so I bought a bunch of these off my own back just as we were getting up to Christmas. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be running a load of these. I've seen varying opinions, so it's like, well, let's see. So I'll do their own reviews and demos. We've got the Octaver, we've got the Crybot, which is like the envelope filtery thing. And we've got the Fifth Dimension, which is all the modulation, so chorus, flanger, and envelope filter all thrown in.
Sure.
On one. So I'm going to do their own videos, and I'm going to compare them to models by other manufacturers, and we'll see how they stand up.
Sounds good. Have you seen this?
I saw it online. Good?
It's a good read. It really is, because he explains a story about when he was a lad coming forward.
Okay.
It's good stuff.
How many pages?
89, 90 pages. Okay. 90 pages. It's not a thick book, but he talks about, he shared all these stuff about Tony Iommi. He shared the stuff about Angus Young, Mark King, George Anderson, all of our favorites.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. They're very busy. I know people have been trying to get hold of them at JD for various bits and bobs and I never had a reply for this bridge screws. Thankfully, Joe Goose, the lovely Joe Goose, helped me out with some screws for some bridge saddles. I never got a reply from JD after John passed away, and I thought, you know what, I won't hassle him, and Joe came up trumps, so there we are.
Well done, geezer. Well done.
So what's the waiting time? It's got to be close to 2 years.
It's about 2 years. What I've been told, Mike has told me that they are, since John left, they have been working really hard to get the backlog caught up. And they had a bunch of things that were in process of being built that people just canceled for whatever reason. And so they built those out, and those are really even all moving along. So they're really, from what he said and what Toby explained to me, they're really working to get the list whittled down, if you will. So they're working on it.
Yeah, I know. We know that the wall backline's like 4 years, and Dingwalls have got something like 2 years plus. There's Dawson. We'll bring you to stage.
Bring him on.
Dawson, meet Jamie. Jamie, meet Dawson.
Hey, Dawson.
Hello, testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we can hear.
We got you.
We can hear.
Cool.
We've got 3 of us on.
All right.
Perfect.
Fine. It's like the 3 Musketeers.
Indeed. That? Or Larry, Moe, and Curly.
Woo! Well. How you doing, Dawson? What's going on?
Great. I just hopped in here. I was playing my guitar yesterday. I have a Fender Stratocaster from 2009.
Right. Okay.
It's a Squire version, yeah.
You need to be playing your bass.
I got that too.
How was Christmas?
I haven't
spoken to you since before Christmas and New Year, so
yeah. It was good. I went to a couple of different sports events, and then hung out with the family.
Busy times.
Yeah, just having some fun. How about you?
Cool. Well, I got struck down with a horrible cold just before Christmas. I had to get through my last week of gigs. I just about made it. So on the 14th, I was fine. And on the 16th, it was like, it's coming.
You got the
I can feel it.
cooties.
Yeah, I did. And we did the last live chat, which was probably when I last spoke to you. And I said at the time, you could hear it in the voice. It was like, something's on its way. It's definitely on its way. And the following day, I didn't really get the sort of regular cold thing. I had sneezing for a day. And then everything went to my throat and my chest. And I got like the burning sensation when you cough. And by the Friday, which I had a gig on the Friday, a gig on the Saturday, I could barely talk. So what was coming out of my throat sounded like a toad. But the bizarre thing was I could do falsetto harmonies. So when I was doing the Queen gig on the Friday,
Perfect.
I couldn't hold a conversation, but I could hit all my harmonies. So it was like, great. That's fine. The following day, I had an Oasis gig, which I don't do any BVs on, which was, I thought, well, that's fine. All I've got to do is play and look good. And I turned up to the gig and the band leader got out of the van. He went, oh, hello, mate. How you doing? I went, hi, how you doing? I said, it sounds worse than it is. I'm not contagious, but this is what the cold has left me with. And it didn't sound like that. It was like, oh. And he was like, oh, okay. He said, well, you don't come near us. You just do the gig. And that's that. So in the run up to Christmas, I literally had no voice. It was awful. So it's just been nursing that. So last week's live chat was improvement. And now this week I'm back fighting fit. So got an Uncle Funk show today. First gig back after Christmas. And today's live chat. So live chats are on Saturdays now. And yeah, we're fighting fit, ready to go. Come on,
That's good. Back on the feet again.
That's it. Back on. So loads of new videos coming up. I've been filming this week. So if you've come through from YouTube, anyone that's watching this, if you're coming through from YouTube, you'll see the title of today's thing is to do with my glorious 30-year career as a bass player. There's actually going to be a main video for that this week. So I've been filming that and editing it up. So
Cool.
Yeah. 30 years. Tell you, man.
Mate, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Congratulations.
Stories I could tell.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's sort of stalked up on me because last year I was like a bit wary that it's like, oh, it's 29 years. And then as we got sort of near New Year, I'd forgotten that I'd thought about it and then thought, Christ, it's 30 years. And I was starting to think, well, 10 years ago, like I was coming into the year where I left my busy covers band. And 10 years before that, we moved house. So we've been here 20 years. And it was like, Christ, all these landmarks sort of cropping up. And it's like, no, it's 30 years. You've been doing this full time 30 years. It's like, goodness me. But I've still got the bass that I had then. You know?
That's good to hear for sure.
You know it.
Oh, I do, yes.
That one and the Fender, they're both there. So what I went out into the professional world with, I still have them both. So all good.
Yeah.
All good. So today's choices are going to be a GB Rumour for today's gig. A nice Alembic Persuader, of course. It's coming out today. I've been doing practice with that all week. Where are we? There we go.
That's a good one.
Very nice.
Indeed.
It is a Persuader, not a spoiler. The client, the original order was for humbuckers, not a PJ.
Yeah.
And I've got to take the Bootsy bass today, so give that a run out. So we're going to take those, pedal board. That's it. Off we go. No backline. So keep it nice and simple. Nice, easy gig. 2 1 hours. Disco hits. What's not to like? Costumes packed. Flares have been debriefed. And, yeah, headpiece has been bouffanted.
So you've got the feathers ready to go, eh?
Feathers are ready to go. We'll look like stragglers from Chicken Run 4.
Well, Chicken Run 4 meets George Clinton. Okay.
Yeah. That's about it. That's about it. So it should be good. Should be good. Next week, what have I got? Next week's just a request show. Covers gig in the centre of town. Week after that, I think I'm clear. Yeah. Week after that, we got Uncle Funk again, private party. And then we start getting all sorts of Queen stuff, ABBA stuff, just all sorts. Oasis stuff popping up, general covers, bits and bobs. So it'll all kick in. Another year on the treadmill.
Do you remember the first gig you got paid for?
Yeah. Turning pro, yes, but I got paid for gigs before that, but I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
professional.
Mm-hmm.
So first gig I ever got paid for would have been now. Oh, so we're talking not gigs for free here.
Right. No freebies
First
now.
gig, no freebies. First gig I ever got paid for was also my first gig away from home, which was with a three-piece funk. I don't even know if I played you it wouldn't just be funk, but let's just call it a little funk band, three-piece band, guitar, bass, drums, three-piece vocals, no tracks or anything. We were
Mm-hmm.
called Housework,
Okay.
and we went from London to Scarborough, which is no mean feat. That's like Newcastle, like
Okay.
up on that top northeast coast. First gig away from home, played as support to must have been like a 10-piece blues rock band in a bar in Scarborough. What the hell we were doing in Scarborough? But it was my first experience of chips and gravy,
Oh, okay.
which is it's not specific to Northerners, but I was already a fan of chips and gravy. But to go to a fish and chip shop, and one of the things on the menu was chips and gravy, and I was like, well, I'm having that. And I think I might have had Savaloys or something with it or whatever. But chips and gravy and the whole caboot, and my godfather, it stayed with me ever since. And we ate really well. I've forgotten the gig, but the food was great because we went to an
Perfect.
Italian restaurant for the pre-gig dinner, and then had the chips and gravy after the gig, and then we drove back following day. It was outstanding.
There you go. You know, it's fun. It's fun to think about your first, because honestly, the way that it's presented here on this side of the pond, anyway, you're a professional as soon as you get paid.
Of course.
So the first thing I did, I was 12, and I was doing this, playing upright,
Yeah.
doing you're gonna laugh, but my mom was an accordionist, and so she would hire out for private parties. She had a drum machine and a midied accordion, and I would come out with the upright bass and a Rickenbacker, and we would go play parties. And so I've been getting paid ever since I was 12.
Wow. Well,
and I think I got you nicked by a year or two. So
well, my first gig was at school, so I'd only picked the bass up in the middle of October '87. I did my first gig about 8 weeks later at school. Then there were regular gigs at school, and we put on things. And then when I went to South Coast, we were doing things at college. But I was, 16, 17, 18, trying to get in bands on South Coast. No one was willing to take a punt, and I didn't have a car. And then I didn't really kind of properly gig until I came back up to London to go to university. So that was 91. So Housework was the result of coming back up to London and getting in a band with my mate Jamie on drums and a friend of his. So that took 6 months. But then we were never consistent gigs. It was just when Steve, the other guy in the band, got offered stuff, and we would go, yeah, we can do it. But it wasn't about the money. It was getting out and playing.
Right.
But then by the time I graduated, it was, you now need to stand on your own 2 feet and do this properly. So my very first gig as a pro started exactly 1 week after I graduated from uni on my final exam. And so that was with the Glam Rock Tribute Band. And I went to their place in Streatham, St. Wreatham for the posh, and went to York. We drove all the way in a van to York. York University. It was their summer ball. We were on the bill with a load of other bands that the guitarist was the agent for. So there was us, a Wham and Duran Duran tribute in one band called Wham Duran. And they also had, there was another band on. And the singer from the Wham Duran thing, they'd had another guy singing, he left. They got a new guy in, and people who follow George Michael tributes in the UK will know this guy, Rob Lamberti. This was one of his first gigs with them. He made the epic mistake, not knowing that the bands were kind of interrelated. He made the epic mistake. My first gig. Now, I knew that Jeff, the singer in our band, could be a live wire. So Jeff didn't take any prisoners. Rob Lamberti, thought he had ideas above his station because he said to Jeff, our singer, "Get me a towel," like really like bossing him about. And Jeff went up to him, grabbed him by the neck and said, "Don't ever tell me what to do," and left. And I was like, that was my initiation to the world of glam rock tributes. Don't you tell me what to do. So yes, so I've not met Rob Lamberti since. I know he's very active. He's very busy still these days. But if we cross paths at some point, I'm going to remind him. It was my first professional gig. But what a professional gig. I got £200 in my pocket.
Even better.
Wow.
Followed the next day with 2 gigs. So we drove back from York, then had a corporate event in Oxfordshire at 8 o'clock, got paid another 200 quid for that, jumped back in the van and drove from Oxfordshire back to London to play at Roehampton Institute Summer Ball. And our glam rock band were part of the fabric there because the guys in the band had all gone there. That's where that band was formed. So they had reputation and history. We went on at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Ooh.
Everyone is leathered. It's a student ball, summer ball.
Yep.
Absolutely. The whole marquee was packed. We must have had about 2,000 people in there. It's 3 o'clock.
Perfect.
My initiation that
Perfect.
weekend was 3 totally different gigs.
And you came away with a
Loads of
pocket full
money.
of quid, didn't you?
Came away, I had a few bob in my pocket, you know. That's the way that works.
There you go.
So, and here we are 30 years later. So from that weekend in the middle of June 95, here we are now. Rock and roll, baby.
There it is.
That's it. These hands have played the strings, you know.
That's
Not always
what these are
successfully,
for.
I might add. That's exactly right. Look at those calluses.
Oh yeah, both sides.
There we go. So yeah.
I'm going to prop my camera up here. Just bear with me for a second. If that's
Yeah,
okay.
no worries, man.
No worries.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's kind of funny to look back and think about things because
Mm.
you know if you think and see you remember the chips and gravy more so than the gig.
Oh God, totally.
You know. So now you've got this 12-step program for chips and gravy. I understand.
That's
So
right, yeah.
yeah, I can see it now. Brooksy's Bass Corner.
I
Yeah,
should
what
do
is it?
that, that could be the spin-off. That'll be the
Right,
spin-off
right.
playlist. That's
Right,
it.
chipsandgravy.com featuring Mike
Brooks's
Brooks.
Culinary Corner. Brooks's Culinary Corner.
There
I
it
can
is.
do that. That's easy. That's
Have
easy
bass
to
and
do.
chips will travel.
That's right. Yeah.
Testing. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can
Yep,
hear
you're
you
good.
fine.
Okay, I'm good. I'm all settled in now.
There you go.
I've just seen on a private chat, Dawson, you said you'll be on Royce in the House YouTube
Yep.
channel at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time Sunday, talking about Led Zeppelin Celebration Day. Let me just put that into the group chat so that anyone that wants to check out Dawson can.
Go for it.
Here we go. There we go. Sunday, where am I tomorrow? Oh, I'll be, we're clearing furniture and I'm doing accounts. I might check in on that. 9:30 Eastern Time. Oh, that'll be in the middle of the night for me. That'll be like 2:30. You're 5 hours, aren't you? 5 hours behind me. It'll be 2:30 in the
I
morning.
forget.
I'll
He's
check
5
it. If
on
it's on
6.
YouTube, I'll check it after the event.
It'll
If
be
you're
on the
if you're on
rerun
Central
there.
Time. If you're on Central Time, you're 6.
Ah, okay. Got it.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
because
So
right
what-
now
are you-
it's tea time.
It's late lunch. Late
Right.
lunch for me.
For you, right?
For me, yeah. I've got to grab a bite to eat before I get out the door, and then we're on pizzas tonight, apparently. Clients getting us pizzas in, so happy days.
Pizzas and barbecued meat is usually what we get stuck with here, and everybody hates it.
Ah, yeah. Well, I don't know where they're buying them from, so I'll wait to pass judgment.
I'll eat anything.
Youngsters normally do. That's
Right.
Yeah, just got to burn the calories, man. So are you out gigging this week, Jamie?
So this week, actually, I started off ironically with a session, and a female artist that I know, she asked for a song, and I pulled out the 68 Rick for that one because it was really kind of a Cranberries meets Secret Affair kind of sound.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, Dawson, you may not know Secret Affair, so I'll let Mike explain that one. But
Yeah, let me know.
Secret Affair was a band in the 80s that came out of UK, and Mike can fill in the rest of the details. I have a CD somewhere over here.
Google is your friend.
Right.
Google is your friend. You'll find
Time
it
for
in there.
Action is the one I have, Mike.
Ah.
Secret
A lot
Affair
of that
Time
stuff
Flashes.
was all good. It was all good. I was checking out a load of Go West on YouTube
Oh yes,
YouTube on the Tube.
the
We
Tube.
used to
Yeah.
have regular music program here in the UK that ran for 5 years, and all the bands played live.
Yes.
And I got the first album, Go West box set for Christmas, which has got the DVDs with Al Murphy playing and what have
That's
you.
lovely. Yeah.
All the remixes and extra stuff and the outtakes and all. And it's a great box set. But I was checking out it actually came up in my feed. I wasn't even searching for it. And Al Murphy, what a player! I know
Oh
we're
yeah.
going off the bass route here. I mean, Graham
That's all
Edwards
right.
is some bass player as well, but
Indeed.
Alan Murphy, my godfathers. I mean, things he was just doing just off the cuff, not even thinking about it, and you can just see. I mean, just he was such a powerhouse of guitar playing, just mesmerising. And you could go down to the Cricketers in Fulham, or the Greyhound, sorry, and you'd see special effects just playing there. It's like he's there. How
And then the King grabbed
I mean, yeah.
Then the King grabbed you.
Just
Yeah.
two years late coming up to London. Otherwise, I could have seen him playing in the pubs and stuff. I mean, I'd have loved that. But I mean, I'm very grateful that I got to see him play at Wembley Arena with Level 42 on the final night of that run on Staring at the Sun, because it was indelible. I mean, I was a big Alan Murphy fan anyway beforehand, and I'd been a big Go West fan. I bought all the albums. But to see him in the Level 42 thing, and then to have the video, the Fait Accompli video, and you could see all that stuff and take it all in.
Yeah.
Like, Christ, it was seriously good. Off the chart.
Too bad he left us so quickly.
I read a thing with Mark where he said he didn't even find out until like a few days before that he was ill. And then he died the day after his birthday. And it was like, I'm sure Alan must have said something to the management, or at least mentioned it to Mark at the time, I'm not well.
Perhaps.
But maybe not. But
Well,
I mean, it was very evident if you look at the Prince's Trust show from '89, you can tell he's not well.
Right. Right.
You know,
Well, you can see it
that's
kind
too
of.
bad.
You can see it.
You see it facially.
It was kind of like Freddie.
Yeah.
You suddenly saw Freddie go.
But if you look at Take Care of Yourself, I mean, I don't know how soon that video was done before he passed away. I mean, that's not a very well man at all. But Dawson, this is an education for you. So if you don't know who we're talking about a guitarist called Alan Murphy, who used to be the guitar player for Go West, but he was also a top session guy here in the UK for like Kate Bush, Nick Hayward. He was on all sorts of sessions. He was like a younger Alan Holdsworth, if you know of Alan Holdsworth, who's a very
I heard a couple
player.
songs.
Yeah. So Alan Murphy was more. He had Alan Holdsworth's facility, but brought it into like a mainstream arena. So if you do a search on YouTube for Go West, look for the Tube footage. The Tube was the music program. So they were playing everything live. And it is just, and you'll find loads of Go West footage from like tours that they did in the 80s. Alan Murphy was the guitar player. He then became the guitar player in Level 42. So you got Mark King doing
Alan
his
Murphy.
thing. You've got
Alan Murphy.
Gary Husband doing his thing. Mike Lind up, and then you got Alan Murphy on guitar, which Boone Gall, the original Level 42 guitarist, was outstanding in his own way, but he certainly did not have the technicality of Alan Murphy. It was a different thing, but worth checking out. Well worth checking out.
Yeah, Alan Murphy played. So do you remember? So oddly enough, since you mentioned Alan Holdsworth, there was a real quick, and then we'll come back to bass. Alan Holdsworth made a joke one time. He was talking about who comes to his shows. Did you hear that one?
No.
He was explaining to someone, they were talking about the audience, the crowd and whatnot. And Alan Holdsworth was like, there weren't any females at his shows. He said, I look around, all I see are cocks. And I'm like, well, so the reason I mentioned this is because you said, Alan Murphy had the finesse of Alan Holdsworth, but he took it mainstream. If Alan Holdsworth had kind of come into the mainstream with it, then it would have been a mixture of audience, as opposed to just being a bunch of guys standing there like this going, I should be able to play that, you know. So
it's the same as Genesis before they wrote hits. You know, it's
right.
exactly the same thing.
Right.
Lots of blokes in anoraks with half pints of cider and big
Shaving the
flappy
tips of their
jeans.
heads. And,
That's right, yeah. And then once they started having hits, it was the same for Rush. Rush said when they got Mr. Big as support, once Mr. Big had To Be With You, which was the tail end of them supporting Rush, suddenly there were girls in the audience, which Rush had never had.
I saw that tour.
Because they were because they were support for them back in 89 and 90, but they didn't have that hit till end of 91, 92.
They called it the Power Drill Tour because that's when they were bringing out the Makita tool, doing all that.
Well, the Rush album would have been pressed though. So there's I don't know if you've seen it. There's a sound clip.
Oh yes.
Of Sheehan coming out for the sound check,
playing with his wall.
Yeah,
playing his wall,
singing. Or Geddy wasn't there for the sound
Geddy wasn't there.
Billy was. That's what it was.
Yeah, Billy was throwing down on the wall bass.
Yeah, because I know that album, and I'm Canadian too, so you're speaking my language.
There we are.
And it's also, you said it's an education, so I got my sponge. I'm soaking up the education like
nice
a sponge.
Nice one.
I meant sponge cake. But
okay.
It's all right. I'm playing with you, Dawson. Don't worry. Stacey Ann from North Carolina, you've just come on board. Good to see you. You're going to have to watch this on rewind, my dear, because in about 10 minutes I've got to call an end to the live chat. So I've got to go off to a gig and earn a few bob. You're listening as you can. Hair client this morning. Very good. No problem.
Well, you missed all the bits about chips and gravy.
That's it. Chips and gravy.
Chips and gravy.
Today. Chips and gravy. If anyone that's listening to that thinking, oh, no. Don't knock it till you've tried it. It's fabulous.
Well, that's like saying you don't like bangers and mash.
And still put salt and vinegar on your chips, then the gravy. And make sure it's onion gravy. There you go.
See, you've got to figure it out.
Millard put a thing of firecracker sauce in there as well, just to give it a little livener.
Just a little.
Through the day. Just a little. I tell you, that stuff. It never takes me 45 minutes to eat my dinner, but I just couldn't eat it quick enough.
Well, we did
blow my head off.
We did a curry thing. This friend of mine and I, we did a thing. So we did it on video actually. If I can find I can look it up real quick. I'll send you the link and email, and you can do what you want with it. But it's pretty funny because so Dawson, I don't know if you saw this, but I eat my curries extremely spicy, and so 1 to 5 is what everybody selects, and I pick 50. So it's got to have. It's like doing Tim Hortons. You want a good donut, Tim Hortons gives you a good donut. Same idea. So without the heat, it doesn't have the flavor doesn't taste right. And this guy, we popped up this thing. He joined me. We set the cameras and all the lights up, and we met at this restaurant. And the staff there, they know me well. So basically, I said, give us 2. 1 for him, 1 for me. Same recipe, same spice level. Because this guy said, I can handle Reaper peppers. I can handle all these things, all this stuff. And 4 bites in, he was done.
That'll put some hair on the chin.
It works.
Or chase it out.
or change the color as you go.
Chili red. Yeah, chili peppers.
That's right. Turns pink and then turns red. It all burns off here and just kind of falls down.
People are always bold until it turns up, and then it's like, oh.
Well, the cool thing is we have it on video, and literally it's on YouTube, so you can actually see it, where he taps out 4 bites in.
There we go. Led DVD.
Zeppelin.
How about that?
Can I ask if you guys have any Jimmy Page story? John Paul Jones is. Can I ask you guys if you have any John Paul Jones stories?
I don't, although my editor did ask me to interview him 2020, 2021, and I passed because I'm not a huge Led Zeppelin fan and I'm not a huge historian on John Paul Jones. And I said, there are people more qualified within the magazine to go and do a great interview than me. And you're missing a disc there. And I said, if I was to do it, I would be learning everything. I'd be learning their whole career from scratch. I said, I just don't have time to do that. So I passed it. I think Ellen did it. Ellen at the mag. But I do have a Jimmy Page story. I sat behind him, literally right behind him, at the Jack Bruce auction after Jack Bruce had died.
Mm.
So Jack Bruce's basses and possessions were up for sale, and there was a load of McCartney stuff in the subsection of that auction, which I didn't know about. I'm sat there, and they said, "Oh, and then
Interesting.
Paul McCartney's stuff." I was like, "What?" And Jimmy Page was there. He sat through all of it, and he was right in front of me. I didn't know. He turned round.
Oh, you
I saw
know.
the side profile, and I went, "It's him,
That
isn't
word,
it?"
right?
It's
That word right
in
there,
front.
right?
Right there. And I put it up on my Facebook page. If you go back through my personal Facebook to 2015, September 2015, I think, or October, you'll see it. And I've done a picture. It's the back of his head.
Oh,
But,
thank you.
it's all right.
There's a little
I
bit
should
in
have
there,
got a
yes.
chat with him. I remember messaging
Yeah.
the editor saying, "You don't want an interview with Jimmy Page, do you?" He said, "Why?" I said, "Because
Why?
he sat right in front of me." He said, "But we're a bass mag." I was like, "Yeah, I know that, but maybe
Yeah, but
he's
he
got
was a
insight
bass
on-
player.
He was
He
a
was a
producer
bass player.
too.
Maybe he's got an insight on Jack Bruce." What I found out was he was there for the McCartney stuff, not necessarily for the Jack Bruce stuff.
Uh,
But,
Connections.
well,
Yeah.
everybody looks
There
to
we
Sir
are.
Paul at some point, eh?
Well, yeah, I think so. It all comes back to that, doesn't it? Really, you know.
It does. Yeah, that's why there's so many Hofner basses floating about.
That's right. Yeah. Not in my collection, I'm afraid.
Mine either, because I can't do it. They feel like I'm about to break it.
That's kind of my thing. Look, it's how you attack the things, but every time I've ever reviewed one, it feels like it's about to fall to bits.
Right.
I'm sure it isn't, but it's just the way they are. You know, that's what they're built from, is how they were built before. So
Yeah.
things hadn't progressed.
Well, it's lovely that they're lightweight, but lightweight does
Yeah.
have its trade-offs.
That's it. If you had one, you'd want a period correct one. You wouldn't want a new one.
No.
And I think there's a model they do, I think, called the Club, which is like it's a bit more Les Paul shaped body.
It's a larger
That would
body,
be
yeah.
that's the thing to play.
Mhm.
And I've seen a few of those over the years. They had one at the gallery, and they had various ones at the Bass Centre.
Right.
That would be the Hofner for me, I think. But I've no need for it. I don't want it. No, not for me. Not for
I
me.
haven't got
Not
flat
my
wounds on anything.
Well, the strings on there are something different. They're like some like toy strings, bizarre things they string their basses with. They're certainly not Tomastics. There was something else, and each time I've reviewed one,
Like
it's been
pyramids
like-
or something.
no, hang on, let's just have a little look on their site, shall we?
Have a look.
I got some pyramids right here in the desert.
Let's see what
There you
it
go.
says, what they're strung with. But every time I've ever had they're a club bass, I was right.
Uh-huh.
FAQ section, let's see what they're stringing with. But every time I've played them, it felt like the strings weren't proper strings.
Were they nylon strings like the Yamahas?
No, it was like almost like paper wound.
Oh,
like
so they
some
were like
weird-
tape wounds. Tape wounds.
Kind of, but it wasn't like rotor sound tape wounds that I've played.
Okay.
It was something totally like off what I would expect, and it's like, oh, don't really like. But it's part of that tone, it's that deadened tone. It's
Right. The
what
thump.
it is. But,
It's the thump, yeah.
And to be honest, I don't get a lot of call to do that. But when I do, it'll be a semi-acoustic bass with either flats or tapes on or nylons, and we'll go with it that way. So yeah, I have no need for one really.
Yes, yeah. I go to the extremes. Obviously, I've got everything with rounds on them, and then if somebody needs something like that, out comes the upright.
Yeah, because that's the tone you're kind of after, that dead.
Sure.
I mean, I'll chuck one of these on. He says try not to pull a thing. I'll stick one of them on.
Oh, right, yeah.
Where are we? The old Groove Gear Thump.
Hmm.
Just slides over the strings, deadens them right off.
Yeah. I'm actually hunting for this Curry video. I'll drop it on you when I find it, because you'll have a good
Send it,
laugh.
I'll post it up next week. Happily.
You'll have a good laugh over it. I mean,
I
because
will.
yeah, because you know
Right,
me well
gents.
enough. So yeah.
I've got to drop you off the chat. We're going. I've got to get out the door from a gig.
No worries.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You boys, anytime, any Saturday between now and the end of March, this is when we're here. Although it won't always be 12 till 3. Usually it's going to be 2 till 5, 2 till 6. So next week's 2 o'clock we start.
So let's see, 2 o'clock there for me.
8
was like 8 in the morning. Yeah.
Bring
8
your
in the morning.
cereal. Get your pajamas on. Dress
Actually,
down.
curry
Slip-
breakfast, you know.
Yeah, well, if
Oh,
that's how you wish to start your day, you go for it.
There you go. I popped it in the chat for you, so you can do what you want with
Excellent.
it.
I will check it out.
It's good for a chuckle.
Boys, say good afternoon. They're off.
Good afternoon.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Right. Boys, I'll see you soon. Take it easy.
Cheers, Mike.
All the best. And there we go. That's Saturday Live Chat 95, done and dusted here on Brooks's Bass Corner. Thank you to Jamie. Thank you to Dawson for coming in live. It's been a pleasure. Good chat today, boys. And thank you to all the guys, new people. Jump, good to see you. Thank you very much. Come on again. Bill Derbyshire, of course. Give Me Java, good to see you too. Stacey popped in at the end. Steffi as well. I'm just having a look. Who else do we have on here? Visog, we had you. Joe Paquette, good to see you. Juice as well. Bill Clements, fabulous. So thank you very much. Graham Potts, how can I forget? Thank you very much. So it's been fabulous. Live Chat 95, done dusted. I will see you next Saturday, 2 p.m. next week, 2 p.m. UK time. If you're watching this after the event, you can still get involved in the conversation. Just leave comments. The chat window will be shut, but leave a comment. I get a notification when you've posted, and then I can reply. Please give the video a thumbs up if you'd be so kind. It makes a huge difference to the video and the channel within the algorithm. Please leave comments. Please feel free to share the video out to social media, email, and websites. In the description box, you're going to find the affiliate links for Bass Center, Top Cashback, Spreadshirt. Start again. Affiliate links for the Bass Center, Top Cashback, vidIQ, and StreamYard. Bass Retail affiliate links for Amazon, Gear for Music, Andertons, and Toman. You're going to find us on social media. We're there on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter X, BeReal, Reddit, Quora, Discord, and TikTok. Brooks's Bass Corner merch, links in the description box. On that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm heading off to Harlow, play with Uncle Funk's Disco Inferno. New video, hopefully up tomorrow. I'm about to jump in the car and start videoing a vlog for today's gig. So on that note, I'm love you and leave you. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your bass playing. If you're gigging, be safe. Enjoy. Take care. Be safe on the roads. It's horrible out there if you're here in the UK. I'll see you next Saturday, 2 p.m. Take it easy. Have a great week. All the best.